disadvantages of remote broadcasting, Howard.
And the first pitch of the game is a fastball in there, strike one.
If we were at the ballpark, I would love to see how this guy handles himself out at shortstop at 6'7". What does he do? How does he prepare? How does he? I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a 6'7" middle infielder.
Nobody has, I think. A breaking ball inside a ball. The count is 1-1. The left-hander pitches. Fastball inside, ball two. It is a beautiful day in Omaha, 86 degrees. Clear skies, wind blowing out to left field. And the lefties wind up in his 2-1 pitch. Is a swing and a miss at a fastball, strike two. Omaha has won 9 of the 10 meetings between these clubs at Werner Park this year. They split 6 games in Indianapolis. And a fastball is a swing and a foul at the plate. It holds 2-2. Michael Chavis on deck. Pirates ahead of the Phillies 5-0 in the 8th inning. Phillies can't afford to lose. The breaking ball, though, and the count is full. O'Neal Cruz has all the talent in the world. He has power. He has speed. He has a great arm. The 3-2 pitch. Swinging a high fly ball, deep center field. That ball's way back, and it clears the wall. And he's hit his 3rd home run as an Indianapolis Indian. This is one guy who won't be platooned the way he hits left-hand pitching. And the Indians have a 1-0 lead immediately.
And that's not just 3 home runs, Howard. It's 3 home runs in 12 at-bats. So a home run every 4 at-bats, which is pretty impressive.
And all 3 homers against lefties. Wow. 1-0 Indians. The batter, Michael Chavis.
Do you ever wonder how a guy 6 feet 7 inches wound up being a shortstop in the first place?
Hitting 271 is Chavis, and he takes a little bit inside a ball. There's been talk they may move him to the outfield, but as of now, he's still a shortstop.
Regarded as the number 3 prospect in the Pittsburgh organization.
Yep. And a fastball swing and a ball hit in the air, foul to the right side and out of play. Plenty of room in foul territory here at Werner Park. You were talking about the distinction of baseball and winning streaks. Here the Yankees win 13 in a row, and then they go back and they lose 13 of 16.
Yeah.
And that would not happen in the NBA. If you're good enough to win 13 in a row, you won't go the other way. Here's a swing and a high fly ball hit out to left field. Drifting back and making the catch is Dairon Blanco, and there's one away.
Yeah, if you win 13 in a row in the NBA, you would be hard-pressed to find a team that good that would lose as many as 3 in a row at any time during the season. It would happen. It's not unusual, but the point that you're making is valid. The variance in baseball is just so much different than it is in the other sports.
Well, it's the only sport where the defense has the ball for one. Only sport not governed by a time clock, as you mentioned earlier. Here's Rodolfo Castro, 5 for 12 as an Indian with 3 home runs. He takes low ball 1.
Also, neither here nor there, but the only sport where the manager/coach wears a uniform.
Right. Fastball is a strike. The 2 who didn't were Connie Mack and Bert Schotten, and they managed a long time ago, prior to 1950.
Baseball is more tradition-steeped than the other sports.
I think so in the history. There's a ground ball hit to the second baseman. Consell has it on to Prado, 2 away. And another thing to look at, you look at basketball, football, soccer, hockey. You're all starting in one end, going to another end while you're trying to get a basket or cross a goal line, get it in the net. And baseball is not like that at all, obviously.
It's also the only sport where one of the defenders is always out of bounds. The catcher is in foul territory.
Yep, and he's the most perceptive guy out there usually. Here's Christian Bethancourt hitting 274, and the pitch is a swing and a miss. Another thing about the officials in the other sports are there to catch infractions. But in baseball, the umpires are part of the fabric of the game. And here's a swing and a miss, strike two.
As someone who's been around the game your entire adult life, what's your position on, I don't think it's necessarily going to happen anytime soon, but there's been talk about the automated umpires.
And the 0-2 pitch is low ball. Well, I haven't seen it. You know, they've done it in a few independent leagues. They've tried it. My initial response is, I don't know if it'll work, but I don't feel like I can give you an educated opinion on that. Not really sure. Here's a swing and a high fly ball hit out to center. Shading his eyes is Fox, and he makes the catch to retire the side. One run, the home run by O'Neill Cruz. After a half inning, Indians won, Omaha coming to bat.
Want a strikeout stroke? You only need to remember, be fast. Call 911. B, sudden loss of balance. E, eyes, check for vision loss. F, face, look for an uneven smile. A, look for arm weakness. S, listen for slurred speech. T, time to call 911. Stroke is a medical emergency. If you see someone with those signs, be fast. Call 911 and strike out stroke. Learn more at strokeawareness.com.
Is your building haunted or infested with icky snakes? Then tear it down. The Raised Trash Demolition Squad can flatten buildings up to 3 stories tall. Whether it's a commercial or residential structure, the Raised Trash Demo experts will make it go boom. And with their roll-off containers, they'll haul away the mess quicker than you can say, hey, there used to be a building there. Bring your old fire trap to its knees with Raised Trash.
RaisedTrash.com.
Raised Trash.
Need furniture? Get up and hurry into Menards for a great selection and a free rug. Buy any furniture at $2.99 or more and get a free 5x7 rug. That's $149.99 in savings. Want a comfy new chair? Pick one up and get a free rug. Cozy up in a new love seat and get a free rug. Buy a couch or go big with a sectional and get a free rug. Get to Menards before they're gone. In-store only while supplies last.
Save big money at Menards.
Now back to your Indianapolis Indians on Fox Sports 1260, Indy Sports Station.
And we get ready for the bottom half of the first inning. Jay Baker, our board op at Fox Sports 1260 WNDE. And I know you and Jay must know each other well.
Oh, Jay's been around maybe longer than I have.
He said such nice things to you. I figured you knew each other well.
Yeah, I've known Jay for a long time. He's
a good man.
Yeah, he's a good man. He's a lifelong broadcast professional. He's had great success.
I wonder what he's going to give us for this kind of exposure that we're giving him right now. At least he'll keep us on the air, I think.
One would hope.
Lucius Fox will lead off, hitting .219. Switch hitter, batting right. And we lost the feed for a moment. Switch hitter batting left, I should say. Now we have the feed back. Osvaldo Bido delivers a swing and a ground ball to the right side, and it's going to be a base hit. The second baseman, Chavis, picked it up in short right field. Had no play, flipped it over to Owen anyway. An infield hit for Lucius Fox.
Yeah, that was not an easy play, and he did get the ball over there, but even had the first baseman handled it cleanly, it would not have been in time.
So an infield single, and the batter now will be Bobby Witt Jr. There he is, the prospect, batting .301, 18 homers. And remember, he hasn't been here all season.
His dad had a really nice big league career.
Right-handed pitcher, good stuff. Here's a swing and a high pop-up near second base. Who's going to call? The second baseman is, and Chavis has it for the out. One away. So Witt Jr. pops up, and that'll bring up Nick Prado. Hunter Owen playing first, Michael Chavis at second, O'Neill Cruz the shortstop, and the third baseman is Rodolfo Castro. Tucupita Marcano in left field, Jared Oliva in center, and Bly Madris in right. Christian Bethencourt catching, and as Mark told you at the outset, Osvaldo Bido doing the pitching. Spent the year in Double-A Altoona, had an ERA over 5. 1 on, 1 out. Nick Prado, the batter, hitting .251 with 18 homers. Another big prospect. He takes low ball 1.
Beto has been a starter essentially his entire career. This is his 76th professional appearance, his 72nd start, and 2 of those relief appearances came this year.
The right-hander stretches and delivers. And it's in there. Off-speed pitch in for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. The right-hander looks in as Fox leads away. And the pitch is swung and ripped. That's a fair ball, a base hit down the right field line. Cut off in the corner by Madris. Hustling to third is Fox. The throw is not in time. He is in there safely. So a base hit for Prado, a single, and runners are at first and third with 1 out.
Chance for Omaha to get something going here early. Here's another difference between baseball and the other sports, Howard. I was just thinking about this. Let's say that your pitcher is a Cy Young candidate, so arguably your best player. It's the only sport where your best player, if that's the circumstance, plays 1 day out of 5.
Right, and it used to be 1 day out of 4. Now it's 1 day out of 5. Emmanuel Rivera, the batter, hitting .285, and he's got 18 home runs. Indians leading 1-0, bottom of the first. Omaha with runners at first and third, 1 out. Here's a high fly ball foul, right side, out of play. I think the thing that makes it the most unpredictable is the pitcher. Because you could have a bad ball club, having a bad season, everything go wrong, but if you get a well-pitched game, you can win that day.
It's very similar to the impact a goaltender has in hockey.
This pitch is low, that's a ball.
Goalie gets hot, you had a mediocre season, he gets hot at the right time, he can carry you all the way through the playoffs. A little bit different than a pitcher, in that a pitcher with that kind of impact isn't out there every night, but I think their importance is similar.
Well said. Runners lead first and third. Here's a hard hit ground ball to short. Cruz has got it to second one. On to first. They turned it. Double play. Beautifully done. Cruz, Chavis, and Owen. 6-4-3. At the end of 1, Indians 1, Omaha nothing.
Inspired by your nerves of steel and the nerves and joints that help our bodies go. Inspired by longer walks and breakthrough joint replacements that keep you in step. We're inspired to deliver the best in orthopedic care because at Franciscan Health, we're inspired by you. To learn more, visit franciscanhealth.org/orthocare. Franciscan Health, inspiring health.
This is a frosted glass. This is ice. This is Jim Beam Apple. And this is a splash of ice-cold club soda. This is the flavor. Introducing Jim Beam Apple. We made history with the most mouth-watering glass of Jim Beam in the world. How will you make yours? Jim Beam. Make history. Drink smart. Jim Beam Apple Liqueur infused with Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. 35% alcohol by volume. Copyright 2016. James B. Beam Distilling Company, Claremont, Kentucky.
My daughter's making college plans, and she's got a long wish list for her future. We toured IUPUI, and we're impressed. With the campus located in downtown Indianapolis, she'll have access to real-world opportunities that will put her education to work. And with professors ranked in the top 50 nationwide for exceptional undergraduate teaching, she'll have the guidance she needs to make her future goals a reality. Want to know more? Go to iupui.edu.
Back to the Indianapolis Indians on Fox Sports 1260, Indy Sports Station.
We move to the top of the second. Bly Madris hitting .268 with 9 homers, will lead off for the Indians. Since late August, he swung the bat very well. Left-hand batter, he'll be followed by Jared Oliva and Hunter Owen. Indians leading 1-0 on an O'Neill Cruz home run. Serpaul ready to go. The left-hander toes the rubber. Brian Polberg, who was born and raised in Omaha, the manager of the Omaha Storm Chasers, is retiring, and they honored him in a pregame ceremony today, backed up the starting time of the game 10 minutes. The lefty's pitch, strike called, knee-high outside corner. Fastball.
He's had a very long, distinguished career.
Yes, he has. He played in Omaha. He's managed the Storm Chasers the last 7 years. And a fastball bounced foul to the right of the plate, strike two.
Got his first managing opportunity in '88 in Appleton.
Appleton, they were known as the Appleton Foxes back then.
Yep. Give me a ballpark, no pun intended. When?
And a fastball rides high, ball 1-1-2.
When did minor league teams start the trend, which is many years ago now, of coming up with their own unique nicknames? Back in the day when we were following it, many of the teams had the same name as the parent team.
And this breaking ball in the dirt, well, we have been the Indianapolis Indians since 1902. There was a period from 1952 to 56 when the Cleveland Indians owned us, and people assumed that's why we're called the Indianapolis Indians. It had nothing to do with the Cleveland Indians. So in some cases, all the way back. And a breaking ball, swing and a miss. He struck him out, pitch in the dirt, and Melendez will throw down to Prado, and there's one away. 2-3 on the putout, one man out.
Well, for example, the Omaha team used to be known as the Royals. And now they've been the Storm Chasers for a number of years.
They went briefly to Golden Spikes, and then, as you said, became the Storm Chasers. Another one that's changed like that, it's a good point you're bringing up, the Gwinnett Stripers, Atlanta's AAA club, which are owned by the Atlanta Braves. Fastball inside, ball one to Jared Oliva. They were the Gwinnett Braves until about 3 years ago, and then changed their name to the Gwinnett Stripers after a fish. And their fastball, maybe it was a little inside, looked as if it was a pretty good pitch. Called ball 2-0.
Well, it's an obvious marketing opportunity for these teams.
Sure. And a fastball is a strike. Jacksonville was the Jacksonville Suns forever. They're the Jumbo Shrimp.
Yes, some names are better than others.
The 2-1 pitch, bounce foul, left of the plate, strike two.
I remember way back when I was a kid first following baseball, and the Giants had their AAA team in Phoenix, the Phoenix Giants.
Right.
Long before the Arizona Diamondbacks came into play.
Yeah, until 1997, they were out there. Breaking ball low inside, ball three. And I think now Oklahoma City, I was told, they were the 89ers, then they were the Red Hawks. I'm told they're now the Dodgers. They're owned by the Dodgers. 3-2 pitch, very close, a little bit inside. Boy, there were a couple of borderline pitches that easily could have been called strikes, were not. And Oliver walks. And that'll bring up Hunter Owen. Batting .228, 19 home runs.
I'm glad that the rosters feature pronunciations because as a baseball fan, I'm tempted to refer to Oliva as Oliva.
Oh, so was I. And a fastball is a strike. And I remember Bruce Schumacher telling me I was going to call him Oliva. He said, you know, that's Oliva. I happen to hear that. And he was right. And so we got that right because of that. It took us a while because, and a breaking ball bounce foul, we're not allowed in the clubhouse this year, or we were not allowed on the field for quite a while too. So it took us a while to get Bly Madrissa's last name pronounced properly. We heard different pronunciations until I got to meet Bly. And a snap throw to first, close, not in time.
There are any number of stories like that. We have a guy in the NBA. Some call him Kelly Olynyk. Others call him Kelly Olynyk. It's been pronounced both ways. And I could never get an answer.
And there's a pitch inside. That's a ball.
So one time a few years ago, I asked him, how do you say your name? And he said, say it any way you want. I don't care. So I still don't know how to say it.
I've had a couple of guys like that say the same thing to me over the years, and I say, well, what do you like? Oh, it doesn't matter. Just say it. And a throw to first, not in time. You want to do what the ball player prefers. Indians leading 1-0. 1 on, 1 out, top of the second. Owen holds those hands high. Runner going. The pitch is swung on and fouled to the right side, out of play. There was a story a long time ago. Norm Bepley was our PA announcer. And I'll think of the player in just a moment. The left-hander sets Tony Bernazard. And the pitch is outside a ball. Well, no, you get things in your head sometimes, and Norm kept calling him Bernazard.
Uh-huh.
And his name was Bernazard. He's playing for the Denver Bears. So I'm around the batting cage, and he comes over to me, and he says, will you tell that guy to pronounce my name right? Bernazard? I said, okay, I'll say something. So I said to Norm, it's Bernazard. He said, okay. And a breaking ball swung on, line to left field, hustling back, and he didn't make the catch. It went over his head, off Blanco, and hustling to third is Oliva, and Owen to second. That's a play that should have been made, and Tyrone Blanco, I thought, was going to reach up and catch it, and he didn't. And runners are at second and third. We'll see how it's scored.
It's a little difficult to see when you're doing it remotely. It was hard to see. Did he actually get his glove on it? Did it go over his head? But it looked like he was going to make a nice catch right in front of the warning track. And I'm not sure how they'll score it, but I agree, based on what we saw on the monitor, it looked like he should have had it.
Yep. That doesn't mean they have not made a decision yet. And a meeting at the mound now, and we're going to have a pitching change. That's it, a pitching change for Omaha. Reuben Ramirez will come on to pitch for the Storm Chasers. Now, in case you're wondering, how did I know that? I got a text from Jake Eisenberg, the Omaha broadcaster.
Yeah, that's one of the downsides. See, baseball, I've done 3 games with you now. We did our broadcast last year remotely, too. But baseball is far more difficult because there's so many things going on. You can't see the bullpens. Basketball, it's all in that square, and you can see everything. Now, you still miss some things doing it remotely, but you never really have to wonder what's going on like you do in baseball.
Right. So anyway, we'll get to Reuben Ramirez in just a moment. So I said to Norm Bepley, I said, hey, Tony Bernazard said something to me about the pronunciation of his name, and it's Bernazard. And Norm said, okay. So then Tony Bernazard comes up to bat, and, you get a mental block sometimes. It can happen.
Sure.
And Norm says, now batting, Tony Bernazard. Well, okay, but Bernazard stepped out of the box, turned around, and glared at the press box. At the PA booth. He glared.
Well, you got to get that name right.
Yeah, it happens. I think Tim Kirchin, not Tim Kirchin, I do have a lot of respect for him too. A fellow I'll think of in a moment. Really a great writer. I'm drawing a blank for a second. Baseball writer and works in broadcasting too. Tom Verducci. Terrific. They did a feature, he and Bob Costas, on Joe Garagiola. Verducci kept calling him Garagiola throughout the entire broadcast. It gets in your head sometime, and he's a great writer and a great broadcaster, too. So in any event, here is Reuben Ramirez on to pitch, and Hunter Owen is at second.
His last appearance was against the Indians.
And Kanan Smith-Njigba swings and misses. We have still not gotten a scoring decision, whether that's a hit or an error. Runners are at second and third with 1 out. The right-hander's pitch misses inside, and that's a ball. Indians leading 1-0. says on game day, maybe yours is different, but it says Hunter Owen reaches on a line drive, scoring rule pending.
Yep, that's what it says on mine. I don't know why it's pending.
I'm sure they made a decision. The pitch is outside. Count is 2-1. Runners lead second and third.
I'm just going to guess that they'll call that a double.
I would think so. It might have been more than ordinary effort, although from Omaha's perspective, you want to see that play made.
Sure. Well, the line score has Omaha with 2 hits.
It would be Indianapolis, though. This pitch is.
You're right. You're right. I'm looking at the 1 hit for Indianapolis.
Then maybe it is an error. Then the home run was.
But no errors charged to Omaha.
Well,
on the line score yet. So they're still debating it, I guess.
Or maybe the person on game day forgot and didn't follow up. But one of the two shouldn't be debated this long.
No.
Runners lead second and third. The pitch misses outside. He walked him. And the bases are loaded, and the batter is Tucupita Marcano.
Chance for a big inning here. By the way, that last appearance against the Indians on the 24th was Ramirez's AAA debut. So
okay.
The second pitcher they've put out there with very limited experience at this level.
The pitching gets watered down the end of the year sometimes. So the base is loaded. Marcano stands in. And he swings, and a ground ball in the hole. It's a base hit to right field. 1 run scores, and 2 runs score as both Oliva and Owen score. Here's a throw to third. That is not in time. Now let's see what happened here. Marcano is standing at third base. It was a base hit to right, and I think the throw to the plate may have gotten astray. Let's see what...
Well, the graphic shows a runner at second. Which is
okay, then maybe they've changed. Okay, and that Gustavo Amano's now coaching first, and Brian Esposito's coaching at third. Then.
Well, now the graphic has changed, Howard. It shows a runner on third.
Okay, Marcano singles. A breaking ball to O'Neill Cruz is in for a strike.
And now it shows runners at second and third. They keep changing it.
Now, game day has 3 men scoring. Here's a swing and a miss. And Marcano going to third on a fielding error. That's what I had thought by right fielder Mejia. So it's a base hit. 2 runs batted in. The third run scores on the error, and Marcano, who went to second on the throw to the plate, goes to third on the error.
So it's 4-0 then.
Right. Breaking ball is inside, except they have 3-0 in Omaha. Game day has 4-0.
Well, you can see from the center field camera, which is the camera we have, that there's not a runner on second. Because he'd be in the picture if there were.
Yep, and I thought Marcano was on third.
And now they've changed it again to a runner on first. I have no. Now they put him back on second.
This is one trip we should have made.
This is yes.
And a breaking ball in the dirt. It is blocked by Melendez. Okay, that's third base, correct?
Yep.
Marcano is at third base, so I think game day has it right.
I think.
And the Omaha scoreboard has 3-0. It should be 4-0.
Yes, with a runner on third rather than 3-0 with runners at second and third, which is what they're showing.
Right. They're trying to take that run away. The Indians have had a rough time in this ballpark this year, and they're trying to make it rougher.
Now they got it right. But now they put the runner on first. They do have the right score now, though.
Pitch is very close, a little bit inside. Now they have no count to O'Neill Cruz, and there have been 4 or 5 pitches thrown to him.
I think it's 3-2, but I'm not certain. I know.
Now they have 3-2. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
The right-hander sets and delivers. And a breaking ball low inside. Cruz walks.
I know it's difficult, so I hope this isn't taken the wrong way. I don't mean it as a criticism, but it amuses me. It seems like maybe they just told some guy in the stands who's drinking some beer to be the director, and another guy who's 3 beers in is the graphics operator. That's what it looks like.
Okay, so now you have runners at first and third.
We think.
Yeah. And here's a visit by the Omaha pitching coach to the mound.
Well,
and that is Dane Johnson.
Well, this pitcher has faced 3 hitters, and they've all reached. A couple of walks and that base hit to right field that wound up putting some runs across. This is an opportunity for a huge inning. Already 3 runs are in. And the last 5 guys have all reached base.
And I'm trying to find out. Maybe they did rule that a hit. It has Indianapolis with 3 hits now. The ball hit by Owen earlier in the inning.
It has Omaha with 2 errors. Well, now they've changed it to 1.
Okay, 1 error we know is on the throw.
Right. So I think they did call it a hit, right? Wouldn't that be?
Yep, I think so too. Here is Michael Chavis, and he takes it low, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes.
Now, I know some operations are more efficient than others in terms of giving you a video feed, but man, the stuff, a person who hasn't done this cannot appreciate how difficult baseball is off of a monitor. It's really, really difficult.
Ramirez delivers, and the pitch is inside. Very close pitch called a ball. And today, like yesterday, those borderline pitches are not being called strikes. 2-0, Indians leading 4-0. And a breaking ball misses outside. And you know that play that we were talking about, the ball that Owen hit, that's the biggest play of the inning, the key to the whole inning. That ball's caught. There's a man on first and 2 outs.
And there may not have been a pitching change.
Sure. The right-hander's pitch, way inside. Did it hit him?
I think it did.
It hit him. So Chavis hit with the pitch ball, and that loads the bases.
Boy, Ramirez is really struggling. 4 men have reached, 2 on walks, 1 on a hit batsman, and then that base hit. What do you think went into their thinking in replacing Serpa? He only threw 34 pitches.
Maybe they felt he wasn't stretched out enough to go any longer, but you can see that they're hurting for pitching right now. They have a tremendous lineup. So Rodolfo Castro, the batter, with the bases loaded, he grounded to second his first time up, and he takes it low, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes.
We have, as I said earlier, we're watching from the center field camera, and Cruz is on second base. You know what he reminds me of? You drive by a Little League field, and there's one kid that's bigger than all the other ones. That's what he looks like out there.
He's 6'7". The other night, the Omaha catcher was 5'9", and they were talking before the game. And this pitch is inside, and that's a ball. I think he's still growing into his body.
Well, he's a young fella. He might be. But you could be looking at a huge inning here. Already 3 in, the bases are loaded, only 1 out. And you're right in that heart of the order here.
Ramirez looks in. He stretches. All 3 men lead. And the pitch is swung on and grounded foul outside of first.
So Serpa struck out the first hitter, and then 6 straight guys have reached.
That's right. And only 2 hits among those 6. 3 walks and a hit batsman. Ramirez in no great hurry. Now he toes the rubber. All 3 men lead. The right-hander stretches and delivers. That's low, and that's a ball. Three and 1. And again, Ramirez looks in. Here's his stretch. Set at the chest. The pitch is ripped to right field, down the line. It's in there for a base hit, and the right fielder Mejia raises his hands. It bounces over the wall for a ground rule double, and that'll score 2 more men, and runners are at second and third, and the Indians now lead 6-0.
Well, this has not gone well for Ramirez. He came in and gave up a walk, a hit a batter, and now a double that scores 2 runs. And still runners at second and third.
With 5 runs in the inning, and that's it for him. So we'll have another pitching change. It didn't do his ERA any good.
Well, since they called that drive to left a hit rather than an error, the other error in the inning does not come into play in terms of earned runs. All these runs are earned.
Yes, Andres Nunez into pitch now.
So Mr. Ramirez does not get an out. The runners are his, and he walked 2, hit 1, and gave up a couple of hits. So he faced 5 and faced 6. Right? 1, 2. No, he faced 5, and he didn't get any of them out.
Wow, that's a tough outing. I remember Scott Service. Do you remember him, the right-handed pitcher?
Sure.
On opening night in Des Moines one year, he pitched, and he didn't get anybody out and gave up a couple of runs. So I said to him the next day, do you know what your ERA is? And he said, infinity. I said, that's right. I said, do you know how to spell that? He said, no. His nickname was the Big Dummy. When we were in Omaha, actually it was in Omaha in 1991, we're near the end of the year. We're at the team hotel. Scott's all excited. He comes up to me. He says, I'm going to Japan. You know, he was happy. He was going to make some money. He says, I'm going to Japan. I said, great, Scott. Congratulations. He said, you know, I'm 6'6", and a lot of those people aren't too tall. Me going over there, this is going to be just like going to a foreign country.
Just like.
So, Nunez into pitch. 6'4", 240 pounds. 26 years old.
He pitched against the Indians a couple of nights back.
Yeah, let's see. Went 2 innings, did well. No runs, a hit, walked 1, and struck out 3. That was the game the Indians have won in the series. They jumped off to a 6-0 lead and held on for a 9-8 victory. So we're ready to go. Christian Bethancourt becomes the 9th man to bat in the inning, and there's still only 1 out. 5 runs are in, and men are at second and third. Bethancourt fly to center his first time up. Nunez delivers. And a swing and a miss, strike 1, 0-1. And again, the runners lead second and third. Nunez pitches. Inside a ball, 1-1. 5 runs in, Indians leading 6-0, top of the second. Indians will bus home after the game from Omaha.
That's got to be 10 hours
longer?
Yep,
that's about it, 10 hours. The right-hander stretches and delivers. Low inside a ball.
So assuming a reasonable game time length.
Which you may not have today.
No, you may not, but you're probably talking about getting home at 4 a.m. maybe?
And the later start today also. Normally we'd start this game at 2 o'clock Indianapolis time, and they started 4:15 Indy time. Here's a swing and a bouncing ball to the shortstop. A run will score. Witt Jr. throws to first to Prado for the out. Give Bethancourt an RBI as Chavis scores. 6 runs are in. And Bly Madris, who struck out swinging to start the inning, will be the batter. Now, Mark, this will happen a few times a year. A guy will lead off an inning, make an out. The team will bat around. He comes up to bat the second time in the inning, and almost always he makes an out. Here's a swing and a ground ball in the hole. Second baseman's got it. Throw to first. Not in time. Am I glad I said that because it didn't happen. It's an infield hit and an RBI for Madris. It scores Castro. 7 runs are in. It's 8-0 Indians. And the point I was going to make, having seen that so many times over the years, the guy almost always makes another out because he's saying to himself, I don't want to make 2 outs in 1 inning, and the team's way ahead. But it didn't happen there. He has an infield hit and an RBI.
I don't know this for certain, but I wonder, and I doubt that it has ever happened. Do you think in professional baseball,
Jared Oliva takes a strike?
you think a guy has ever made all 3 outs in an inning?
No, but I know Gene Stevens, and I think somebody else did it a few years ago, got 3 hits in an inning.
Wow.
Gene Stevens with the Red Sox in 1953 did it. Breaking ball strike called. And I want to say someone might have done it within the last 5 to 10 years.
So Ramirez officially no innings pitched, 5 runs.
Wow.
You're almost, now he pitched the other night, so he won't have an infinity ERA, but.
And there's a swing and a foul at the plate.
You're almost better off with an infinity ERA than a 96.35 ERA.
I'll tell you a story about ERA when we come back. We'll see if we have a moment now or in the bottom of the inning that involved Danny Osborne, one of the Indian pitchers. And you remember a broadcaster named Lauren Brown?
Of course, yeah.
Of the White Sox and Milwaukee, the Mets. The right-hander sets and delivers. And a swing and a miss. He struck him out with a fastball to retire the side. The inning is over, and the damage is done at the end of 1 1/2. Indians 8, Omaha nothing.
A science class at George Washington High School just learned how smart distribution networks ensure safe, reliable, and efficient energy. At AES, we are putting these next-generation innovations to work right here in Indianapolis so that our community can enjoy smart energy solutions that power our lives and energize the next generation of innovators. IPL is now AES Indiana. We are accelerating the future of energy together.
Hey Indians fans, looking for more home run savings on more selection? Head over to Andy Moore Nissan in Avon. Shop hundreds of your favorite new Nissans, including our Major League lineup of commercial vehicles and Rocky Ridge trucks. Our all-star financing team will help you get approved and on the road in no time. And when you need to service your vehicle, check out our state-of-the-art Premier Express Service Center. Get your Grand Slam deal today at Andy Moore Nissan in Avon, where more means more. Online at AndyMooreAvonNissan.com.
Looking for a fun, inexpensive night out?
Royal Pin.
Go bowling at any Royal Pin Leisure Center. Have fun bowling in a smoke-free environment. Royal Pin offers many bowling, food, and drink specials. And to reduce your waiting time, go to RoyalPin.com and make your online bowling reservation today. For the Royal Pin Center nearest you, call 465-8484.
Royal Pin.
The Indianapolis Indians are always right here on Fox Sports 1260, Indy Sports Station.
And we go to the bottom half of the second inning with the Indians ahead, 8-0. So anyway, the Indianapolis Indians, this is in 1974, my first year, are playing the Iowa Oaks, the White Sox AAA team, and Lauren Brown is broadcasting for Iowa. So Danny Osborne had been the relief pitcher of the year with the Indianapolis Indians the season before, and he pitched on opening night and gave up 3 runs in the third of an inning. and then he had a liver ailment, was put on the disabled list for a couple of weeks. So now it's his first game back, and Lauren says, oh, here comes Danny Osborne into the game. And Danny was the relief pitcher of the year last year. Let's see what he's doing. Holy Toledo, he's got an ERA of 81. He hadn't looked at the stat sheet prior to the game. So Ryan McBroom leads off. Bottom of the second, Indians ahead 8-0. McBroom DHing, and he takes a strike. Hitting .264 with 32 home runs. And a breaking ball low and away from Beto, ball one.
One of those home runs came last night. And according to the Storm Chasers game notes, his mom was in attendance.
Fastball misses outside. And the count is 2-1. And a fastball misses outside again. I think it's 3-1. They still have one. Now they changed it to 2-2. And a fastball is over the outside corner. That is strike two. And now the count is full. We got there. And the 3-2 pitch is low, ball four. So you have an 8-run lead. What's the last thing you want to do? Walk the leadoff man, and that's what happened.
Walk any man, for that matter,
right,
with an 8-run lead.
You think to some extent when you walk a batter, when you have a lead, it's like fouling in basketball when you have a lead because you're giving the opposition a chance. You know, in basketball, you're stopping the clock. And here you're giving a chance without an out being recorded, ball put in play. MJ Melendez the batter. And for me, that's a very deep analogy, too.
Very.
The right-hander's pitch is a swing and a high pop foul out of play left side.
There are some differences, though. For example, if I foul in the situation you described, maybe I prevented a layup. There's no upside to walking a guy.
Right.
There might be an upside to fouling somebody.
Usually with a lead, though, you don't want to do it. The pitch is taken high, ball 1-1. So you're stopping that clock while the clock is your friend. The right-hander sets and delivers. Low inside, that's a ball. Melendez got a lot of power. Hit 28 home runs in Double-A and has 11 here. And he swings and he hits it in the air to left field and deep. Going back Marcano, and that ball clears the wall. And that's a 2-run homer for MJ Melendez. It's now the Indians 8 and Omaha 2.
And just as you had mentioned, his power, that was to the opposite field, and it cleared the wall easily.
Well, there's no defense for walks, and there's no defense for home runs. And that's what we've seen in this inning, a walk and a home run. And Dairon Blanco, the batter. We've had some wild games and high-scoring games, but I don't think we've had anything like this for 2 innings into a game. Not even 2 innings, an inning and a third plus, and it's 8-2.
Well, if it keeps going like this,
you'll never get to do any play-by-play.
And the Indians won't be getting home at 4 a.m. It'll be like 8 a.m.
Dairon Blanco, the batter.
We're almost an hour in, and we're still in the second inning.
Beto looks in, and he pitches. Swung on, ground ball hit to the shortstop. Cruz has got it, takes his time, throws it away to the home plate side of first base. Owen came up with it, but he pulled him off the bag, and that's a throwing error on Cruz. He had time.
Plenty of time.
And he pulled Owen off the bag. So E6,
See, this is where, now I've never done baseball except for that 1 year in rookie ball, but I would think from your perspective.
I'd like some outs. Eric Mejia, the batter, he swings and misses.
From your perspective, you must miss this. Cruz is an example of what I'm talking about. I would love to know how he even became a shortstop. In the old days, you could just go down and ask him.
Right. Here's a high pop foul left side out of play. Why he had not been moved. He originally was a Dodger player, and the Pirates got him when he was very young in 2017 in a trade for Tony Watson. But he has a lot of talent. The right-hander sets and delivers, and that's high, and that's a ball. 1-2. Mejia, switch hitter, batting left.
Another thing I'd like to know.
Here's a swing and a bouncing ball up the middle. Cruz has got it. He'll step on the bag. He barely beat him. A force at second on Blanco, 6 unassisted. Mejia aboard on the fielder's choice.
And assuming these game notes are correct, and I assume they are, this guy's the third best prospect in the Pittsburgh organization.
That was at the beginning of the year they said that, yep.
Well, what I'm wondering then is how is a guy that's so highly regarded, how is he an undrafted free agent?
Well, that's because he's from Latin America.
Oh, I see. And those players are not subject to the draft?
Yes.
I gotcha.
Gabriel Cancel, the batter. He's from the Dominican. And a breaking ball hit high in the air to right center field. And it's going to be in there for a base hit. Madris came over, couldn't make the play, played it on a hop. So Mejia goes to second, and runners are at first and second.
You've got an 8-run lead as this half inning started, and you've given up a home run, a walk, a base hit. The pitching has not been good for either side.
No, and the error didn't help, and the batter is Lucius Fox, who beat out an infield hit his first time up. Joel Hanrahan, the Indians pitching coach, goes out to talk to Beto. Well, we made the point at the top of the broadcast, the two starting pitchers spent the year in Double-A, all of it for Beto, a good deal of it for Serpa, and both of them had earned run averages over 5 at the Double-A level. And there's a big jump from Double-A to Triple-A. So the meeting at the mound concludes. There's one man out, runners first and second, and Lucius Fox, the batter. And the right-hander stretches and delivers. And a swing and a high pop foul left side, and actually Marcano made that catch in fair territory along the left field line, and there are 2 away. So Fox flies out, and the batter will be Bobby Witt Jr., who popped his second his first time up. Indians leading 8-2 are in the bottom of the second. Witt, a right-hand batter. And a breaking ball is a strike, 0-1. Nick Prado on deck. And again, the right-hander sets, and the pitch is over the outside corner at the knees. Strike 2. Good fastball from Beto. Beto's already thrown 31 pitches. Indians ahead 8-2 in the bottom of the second. And a fastball high and away, and that's a ball. 1-2. Beto stretches and delivers. Swung on, fouled back out of play. It holds at 1-2. Good knee-high fastball there. Victory Field, the place to be, beginning on Wednesday, the final homestand of the season against the Nashville Sounds, Milwaukee's AAA team. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings at 7:05. A week from today, 1:35. And here's a high pop foul out of play. Be Fan Appreciation Weekend. Jerseys will be given away, auctioned away. Fireworks shows. Kids eat free every Sunday at Victory Field, and we'll have Awards Day, that final day of the season, a week from today. And there's a ground ball foul left side. Witt fouling off one after another. And Beto throwing strikes.
Where do you draw the line with kids eat free? For example, would a grown man with the maturity level of an 8-year-old get to eat free? Because if so, I will be here.
You
for sure.
see, you're being very creative. You said you're a kid at heart? Here's a foul right side out of play. It holds at 1-2. He's already thrown 7 pitches in this plate appearance.
How old is this ballpark?
Omaha's ballpark is not very old at all. I mentioned it earlier in the season, and it slipped my mind. But
did they tear
it's
down
less than 20
Rosenblatt?
years. Yes, and now they have a ballpark. And Witt went around, strike 3 swinging at a high and tight fastball. They have a special park for the College World Series now. 2 different ballparks. At the end of 2 complete, Indians 8, Omaha 2.
So I've been thinking about this whole do more thing. More steps, more reps, more pain, more... And I've been doing some reflecting.
I'm reflecting right now, babe.
Mm-hmm. And you know, maybe there's more to less. Grind less, worry less, do more less. I think I'm gonna get a lot more out of it.
90 calories, 2.6 grams carbs. That's Corona Premier.
Family owned and operated, Peterman Heating and Cooling has been serving Indianapolis and the surrounding areas for over 26 years. We're one of the fastest growing Bryant dealers in the Midwest with an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. We believe in excellent service at a fair price. For HVAC service, repair, or replacement, give us a call today.
I'm Pete Peterman with Peterman Heating and Cooling in Bryant. We will do whatever it takes.
Research shows moving is one of the most stressful events in a person's life. But thanks to 2 men and a truck, it doesn't have to be. They have everything you need to move. A courteous professional staff who will customize your move, which includes a no-obligation estimate, a schedule to fit your convenience 6 days a week, and all the necessary packing supplies, including free padding and stretch wrap. And 2 men and a truck will help you watch your budget too. Don't stress. Let 2 men and a truck handle your home or business move. Go to 2menandatruck.com. That's 2menandatruck.com.
Now back to your Indianapolis Indians on Fox Sports 1260, Indy's sports station.
Be the new pitcher. I don't think I've ever seen this before. We're getting ready for the top of the 3rd, and this will be the 4th Omaha pitcher of the game.
Yeah.
And here's Mark to call the play-by-play.
The 3rd pitcher, Nunez, wound up going 2/3 of an inning, struck out 2, and got them out of the inning.
I'm told it's right-hander Austin Cox, except that man's throwing lefty.
Yes, he is. Well, it's always an adventure here, isn't it? Let's see.
Okay, they just got the wrong info to us when they said Cox was a righty. He's a lefty.
Okay, because he's not. He's just been called up recently, and he's not in the game notes, so
right.
There's no information on him.
Just added a couple of days ago.
But he is left-handed, and it does say Cox on the back of his jersey, so I think we've got it right. And the top of the 3rd, the Indians had 1 in the 1st, that home run from Cruz to start the game, and then 7 more in the 2nd. Bottom 3rd of the order here. Owen will step in, first pitch, left-hander to the right-handed hitting Owen, and he hits it high in the air. Shallow right center field. Coming over is the center fielder, and he makes the catch, actually more dead on in center field for out number 1. Owen had doubled and scored in his previous plate appearance, so 1 man out. And the number 8 hitter will step in. That is Kanan Smith Njigba, who walked and scored as part of that 7-run second inning. Left-handed hitter, left-handed pitcher. The top of the second. Pitch is in there for called strike one. In the top of the second, Serpa, who was eventually removed, did get the first hitter out, but then the next 7 reached base. All of them scored. Now they get the leadoff man out here in the third. And this pitch is swung on and hit to the right side. Second baseman is there. He'll field cleanly, and Cancel goes over to first. So the first 2 men are gone. Owen flies to center, and Njigba grounds out to second. And Marcano, who singled, knocked him 2 and scored in the second, is the hitter.
So you come on and look what happens. You get 2 quick outs just like that.
Well, maybe they'll be home at 3 a.m. now. Left-handed hitter, the third consecutive left-handed hitter to face Cox. Indians with an 8-2 advantage. We play ball in the top of the third. The game is in Omaha with Howard Eckelmann. I'm Mark Boyle. We broadcast remotely today from Victory Field. This pitch is a called strike one. You're almost a whole season in to the remote broadcast phase of your career. Have you found it to be more challenging than you anticipated?
Well, today got a lot more challenging than what we've had.
Curveball is low, 1-1.
I think it's gone reasonably well. As you know, it's more challenging to do baseball than the other sports via monitor, and today we had some different kinds of challenges.
This pitch is fouled at the plate, 1-2. I don't know if you noticed this. I think you were looking away, but a few pitches ago, a giant fly was on the camera lens walking across the screen.
That's a new one.
Yeah. A ball and 2 strikes. Nobody on, 2 out. Top of the third, Indians in front, 8-2. Left-handed pitcher Cox ready. Another looping curve, and it dropped right through the strike zone. Called strike 3. So a 1-2-3 inning, the first of the afternoon for Omaha pitching. Up and down in order are the Indians. We go to the bottom of the third. It's 8-2 Indianapolis on the Indianapolis Indians radio network.
Hey, Cardinals and Cubs 2-2, bottom 8. The Cubs may win a game. Cardinals may lose a game.
Hey Indians fans, the next time you're at Victory Field, be sure to order Admiral Nelson's Premium Spiced Rum. An Admiral Nelson's Spiced Rum cocktail at the stadium is the perfect way to enjoy the game. Or, better yet, pick some up if you're watching or listening at home. Enjoy the smooth, bold flavor that makes for a perfect rum and coke. Chart your own course with Admiral Nelson's Premium Spiced Rum. Admiral Nelson's Premium Spiced Rum is a proud sponsor of the Indianapolis Indians. Admiral Nelson's Rum reminds you to think wisely, drink wisely.
Life gets a little bit easier when you don't have to worry about your health care. Choose Anthem for Medicaid to help guide you and your family to great doctors and great care. We offer low or no-cost health plans, one that's just right for you. It's an easy choice. Anthem has you covered. Visit anthem.com/inmedicaid to learn more about Hoosier Healthwise, Healthy Indiana Plan, and Hoosier Care Connect.
Dear road rivals, let's talk about extra. Toyota offers tons of extra with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan good for 2 years or 25,000 miles. No-cost oil changes, no-cost tire rotations, no-cost fluid level adjustments, and more. That's a whole lot of extra at no cost from Toyota. Ford, Honda, and Nissan all charge extra for maintenance, and that's the kind of extra nobody needs. Try harder. Toyota.
Based on manufacturer's data as of 3/17/2021, covers normal factory scheduled service for 2 years or 25,000 miles, whichever occurs first. See participating dealer for coverage details.
Back to the Indianapolis Indians on Fox Sports 1260, Indy Sports Station.
With the voice of the Indians, Howard Eckelmann, I'm Mark Boyle. Bottom of the third in Omaha, the home team trailing the Indians 8-2. Omaha will bring 3, 4, and 5. Prado, Rivera, and McBroom here against the right-hander Vito in his AAA debut. His third inning of work, and the first pitch here is at the knees, called strike one.
Well, the Pirates were spoilers today, beat the Phillies 6-0. Philly now 2 back of Atlanta, pending the Braves game in San Diego.
Next pitch is swung on. He singled his first time up. This time he hits it high in the air and deep to right center field, and that one is over the wall and gone by a considerable margin. A long home run for Prado to start the bottom of the third. It's the second home run that Vito has given up. Melendez took him out in the second, and now Prado starts the bottom of the third with a long home run to make it 8-3 for Indianapolis. Prado 2 for 2 with a single and a home run. Indians had an 8-0 lead. It's now 8-3. And Rivera will hit. He bounced into an inning-ending double play back in the first inning. Boy, Prado, how would really give that one a long ride. Wonder how long they'll stay with Beto. First pitch here is down low, ball one.
As you said, he hit it so far, left no doubt about it. This is a guy, 19 home runs here, and he didn't start the season here either. Great prospect.
Pitch is bounced to the left side. The shortstop Cruz will play it at the edge of the outfield grass, and he sails this one over the first baseman's head. It's his second throwing error of the game, and that ball was... Wilt Chamberlain in his prime could not have grabbed that. It was way over the head of the first baseman. Oh, and it's a throwing error on the shortstop. A runner at first, one out. Second Indianapolis error, both by Cruz.
And Lucius Jackson, who's about 6'7", like Cruz was, wouldn't have thrown like that to Wilt in his prime.
No, probably not. McBroom will hit, walked and scored one of their 3 runs, 2 of them coming in the second. He came home on that home run from Melendez. Right-handed pitcher, right-handed hitter, man at first, and the first pitch here caught the knees, strike one. Boy, Cruz has launched some really off-target throws.
Yeah, he's launched some long home runs. And
pitches away, down below the knees, 1-1 to McBroom.
And the same thing happened on both plays. Instead of just being smooth and fluid and throwing to first, he double-clutched, he looked around, then he threw it.
Ball and a strike. 1 run in. Breaking pitch. Outside and low. 2-1 to McBroom. Indians got 1 in the first, 7 in the second. The Storm Chasers with 2 in the second. 1 so far here in the third. Rivera will lead away from first. And the 2-1 on the way to McBroom. That one caught the knees. Ball 2, strike 2. Melendez, who homered in the second, is on deck. Right-hander from the set, 2-2 on the way. This one is in the dirt, going down to block it nicely. Bethencourt, the count goes to 3-2. Runner unable to advance. And Cruz is ready. Ball 3, strike 2. Runner at first, and that one is low and away. And so 2 are on. That's the second walk given up by Cruz. Both to McBroom, and now runners at first and second, nobody out. Melendez will be the hitter. His 2-run homer in the second gave the Storm Chasers their first scoring of the afternoon. Indians in front 8-3. We play ball in the bottom of the third in Nebraska. Melendez, a left-handed hitter, and he took that Cruz offering way over the left field wall, went the opposite way with an impressive piece of hitting back in the second. Here he hits with 2 men on, nobody out, a run in. And from the set, the right-hander is ready, facing the left-handed hitting Melendez, and there's strike 1. Blanco next as we move to the bottom third of the order.
And now Omaha can climb right back in the game.
Rivera leads from second, McBroom the same from first. And the 1-strike pitch is lifted up into the air, left side, shallow left field, left fielder in, shortstop out, third baseman in, and the shortstop dropped the ball. Cruz was retreating, and he got his glove on the ball, but he was twisted around, and he couldn't make the play, so the bases will be loaded. I'm a little bit surprised, Howard, there that the left fielder didn't take charge.
Now, I'm just wondering, we didn't see it if there was a throw to second and a possible force play there, but we didn't see that.
No, we didn't see that, and the graphic shows runners at first and second. For sure there's a runner at third, though. Here's the replay. Let's see if we can maybe see what happened. Cruz dropped the ball, then picked it up quickly and fired it to second. We didn't see what happened there. We saw the runner go to third.
Okay, it does say force out on game day. Cruz to Chavis 6-4.
So it's, in essence, a fielder's choice. And there's a broken bat lifted into left center field. It drops for a base hit. A run will score. It's 8-4. Base hit for Blanco and an RBI. So Melendez to second. McBroom was retired on the previous play. Rivera scores to make it 8-4. Runners at first and second, one out, and Mejia will be the hitter.
I don't think I've seen 3 innings to start a game like this in a long, long time.
A lot of really unusual developments.
You know, and both teams hurting themselves with bases on balls.
So runners at first and second, one out. And the left-handed hitter Mejia steps in. He hit into a fielder's choice in his previous plate appearance. And here he takes a pitch off the plate outside and low for ball 1. Right-hander ready. He was up 8-0. He's now up 8-4. And this pitch is hit up into the air, right field and deep. Right fielder chasing toward the wall. And that one is gone. Did it bounce over the wall or was it a home run? I couldn't tell, Howard.
It might have bounced. I wasn't 100% sure either.
I think it's a ground rule double.
Madris threw his hands in the air a little bit.
So it's a ground rule double. Makes it 8-5. RBI for Mejia.
There it is again. We got a chance to look at the replay.
And I still couldn't see it. I thought I saw it over the wall, but I couldn't tell if it bounced.
It was way over the wall, too.
Yeah, I guess it bounced because there's men at second and third. And that'll bring us to the number 9 hitter, Consell. He singled in the second. So an 8-0 lead has now shrunk to 8-5 with 2 more runners in scoring position. It's like a slow-pitch softball game here.
That's probably a good analogy. I can't think of another game I've seen like this.
And now the home plate umpire, Eric Backus, will go out and break up a conference on the mound. In his AAA debut, Beto got through the first without any damage. That 6-4-3 inning-ending double play was a masterpiece. Then he gave up 2 runs in the second on the home run from Melendez. 3 more have scored here in the third. And runners are at second and third with the number 9 man, Consell, stepping in. Right-hander will work from the set. The runners lead from second and third. Right-hander versus right-hander. First pitch dips low and away, ball 1. Well, neither Serpa, who has been replaced, nor Beto, who is still in, have been impressive in their AAA debuts. Right-hander is ready, and this pitch is down low, ball 2.
Beto has already thrown 55 pitches.
Which would lead one to speculate that he might not be around too much longer.
We're only in the bottom of the third with 1 out.
Pitch on the way, and this one is bounced foul, third base side. Ball 1 and strike 2. Back to the top of the order. Fox next. 2 are on, 1 is out, 3 are in. What's the highest scoring game you've ever called? Any idea? Right-hander ready.
Well,
1-2 on the way, and that's right down the middle, and he took it for a called strike 3.
Well, we would go to Denver before Denver got Major League Baseball. We'd have 10-9, 12-11. Now, one thing comes to my mind. This was not the highest scoring, I think, in terms of total runs, but greatest comeback in the history of the Indians franchise, 1992 in June. We're in Denver. The Indians are down 12-0 after 7 innings. 4 in the 8th, 9 in the 9th without a home run. Won the game 13-12.
Top of the order, the left-handed hitting Fox lashes one into center field. That'll score at least 1, maybe 2. Now trying for second and being thrown out is Fox. 1 run came across. The other runner held at third, and then Fox tried to stretch it to a double and was thrown out. But Omaha slowly but surely getting back into the game in this inning. They score 4 times, and we played 3. It's 8-6 for the Indians on the Indianapolis Indians Baseball Network.
This season, there are minor things you can do to conserve water in a major way. Turn off the faucet while brushing your teeth. Install water-saving fixtures and appliances. Water your lawn only twice a week.
Change up your routine to save on your bill at home. Find more WaterWise money-saving tips at citizenswaterwise.com. Citizens Energy Group, a proud sponsor of your Indianapolis Indians.
To survive the perils of history and time, a brewery needs to hold true to the values it was founded on. Yuengling, America's oldest brewery, began brewing lager close to 2 centuries ago. We're still here today because we made a damn good beer that tastes the way beer's supposed to. Yuengling Traditional Lager. Respect. It's earned.
It's practical, it's smart, and it's so easy. It's Diamonds Direct's most amazing offer ever. Right now, for a limited time on any purchase, the best price, pay nothing down, and get 5 years, 0 interest financing. If you've been eyeballing that $5,000 designer ring, right now it's only $85 a month. Those $3,000 diamond studs, just $50 a month, and they're yours. Everything's affordable. Don't miss the special limited time financing event on approved credit. 5 years, 0 interest. Only at Diamonds Direct. Official jeweler of the Indianapolis Colts. Keystone at the Crossing.
The Indianapolis Indians are always right here on Fox Sports 1260, Indy Sports Station.
With the longtime voice of the Indianapolis Indians, Howard Eckelmann, I'm Mark Boyle. Welcome back. Storm Chasers in Omaha, the home team. Indians on the road this afternoon. It looked like it would be easy early. They jumped out 8-0 through 2, but now the Storm Chasers have come back with 7. 2 in the second, 5 more in the third. Want to make a correction on that last play in the third inning. 2 runs scored, not 1. So both of those runners scored on the Fox hit. He was then thrown out trying to stretch it to a double. So it's 8-7, and the left-hander Cox in for his second inning of work to face the Indians' top of the order. Cruz, who has homered, walked, and scored twice, takes ball 1. A productive afternoon so far at the plate, but in the field an entirely different story. There's a pitch down low, ball 2. He's made a couple of throwing errors and dropped a pop-up. Now, he wasn't charged with an error when he dropped the pop-up because he was able to recover out in shallow left field and fire to second to get a force, so it's just a fielder's choice. 2-0 on the way, looping curve is in, ball 2 and strike 1. Cox, the left-hander, working for his second inning. He retired the Indians in order in the third, and now we play ball in the top of the fourth with Indianapolis in front, 8-7. And the left-hander works 2-1. He fires one into the dirt, ball 3 and strike 1. Cruz homered in the first. The Indians got 7 in the second. They were able to get 11 men to the plate against 3 different pitchers. And then Cox, the fourth pitcher of the afternoon for Omaha, retired Indianapolis in order. There's a pitch in the dirt, and Cruz walks to start the fourth. So Cruz has walked twice. He's reached base all 3 times. And the leadoff man aboard for the second time in 4 innings. And it'll bring Chavis to the plate. Chavis, I should say. Michael Chavis. C-H-A-V-I-S, pronounced Chavis. He was hit by a pitch and scored in that 7-run second. Right-handed hitter, left-handed pitcher, runner at first. Nobody out, and the first pitch is a fastball at the shoulders, ball 1. As Howard mentioned earlier, final week of the season upcoming. Indians at home to finish the season. This is their last road game of the year. Ball 1, runner at first leads. That's Cruz. Gets a modest lead, and this pitch at the knees is hit up into the air and out toward left field, and that one is way over the wall. A 2-run home run for Chavis, and the Indians increase their advantage to 10-7. He got under it and lofted it way out into left field. Cruz scores. Chavis with a couple of RBI. Now with his 8th home run. He's got 20 RBI on the season, and the Indians are in front 10-7. So you had Cruz with a home run in the first, and now Chavis with one here in the fourth. And the Indians will send Castro to the plate with the bases clear, and the advantage now 10-7. Castro doubled and scored in the second after grounding out in the first. Every man in the starting lineup has already reached base at least once. Pitch off the plate, ball 1 to Castro, and we're only in the 4th inning. Indians roughed up Serpa, who only lasted an inning and a third in his AAA debut, and then Ramirez faced 5 hitters, didn't get any of them out. This pitch is fouled at the plate off the mask of the catcher, Melendez, who looks to be okay. Ball and a strike. So a run in the first, 7 in the second, 2 more here in the fourth. Omaha with 2 in the second and 5 in the third. 10-7 only in the top of the fourth in this final road game of the season for Indianapolis. The right-handed pitcher Beto for the Indians, making his AAA debut, has been shaky. He's given up 8 hits and 7 runs in 3 innings. But the Indians do have the lead 10-7, 1-1 on the way, and this one is stroked out toward left field. Left fielder coming in, but he won't get there in time. It drops down in front of Blanco, and Castro is on with his second hit of the afternoon. First 3 men have reached against Cox here in the fourth inning, and Bethancourt will hit. I think I said earlier that everybody in the lineup has reached base. That's not true. Bethancourt is 0 for 2. He's the only one that hasn't reached base, and he has a chance to change that here. He's the cleanup hitter in this afternoon's game. Did knock in a run, though, earlier in the game, grounding out to short. That got a run in. It was his 54th run batted in of the season. Right-handed hitter, left-handed pitcher. And this pitch is up and off the plate, ball 1. Runner at first, 2 runs in, nobody out. Indianapolis in front, 10-7. Left-hander Cox ready. And the ball 1 delivery is on the outside corner, just brushed that corner at the belt. Ball 1, strike 1.
Well, I know a lot of football is being played today in the NFL, and I guess we're honoring the NFL with this kind of score.
10-7. Definitely a football score. Pitch is at the knees, 1-2. Castro at first. Cox ahead of Bethancourt. Ball 1, strike 2. And he's ready to go to work. Here he comes. And this one just missed. Must have been slightly off the outside corner, belt high. Ball 2 and strike 2. Cox is the 4th Omaha pitcher, and we're only in the 4th inning. This is his 2nd inning of work, and he's ready 2-2. This one is stroked out towards center field, giving chase the center fielder. The left fielder, too. The center fielder leaps at the wall. That's Fox. He did not get it. It just cleared the wall. In straightaway center field, it's a 2-run homer for Bethancourt, the 2nd home run of the inning, the 3rd of the afternoon. The Indians have scored 4 times in this inning and now have increased their advantage to 12-7. Boy, he really got a hold of that one. That's his 54th and 55th RBI of the season, his 3rd of this day. And now, something that I said earlier that was not correct is correct. Every single man in the lineup has reached base at least 1 time. 12 runs have scored, and still nobody out in the 4th. And now a conference at the mound with Indianapolis in front, 12-7. Still a football score, Howard. 4 field goals, 2 touchdowns, 2 missed extra points.
Safety.
Stepping to the plate with 4 runs in and the bases now clear is Bly Madris. 1 for 2, an infield hit, an RBI. Left-hander versus left-hander. And this pitch is swung on and hit out towards center field. The center fielder Fox drifting and grabs it right in front of the track. That's the first out of the inning. Madris lines to center. And it brings up Oliva, who has walked and scored and struck out. Well, Cox sailed smoothly through the 3rd, a 1-2-3. He got Owen to fly out to center. Then a ground out and a strikeout. But in this inning, facing the top of the order, he's been roughed up. 4 runs are in. 1 man is out. The bases are clear. Right-handed hitter Oliva. And the first pitch, a looping curve, caught the knees, strike 1. I was listening to the Pirates broadcast the other night, Howard. 1 strike pitch on the way, another curve, this one low and in. And Joe Block, the Pirates broadcaster, cited a statistic that I found, in retrospect, not all that surprising with the way baseball is trending. 1-1 on the way, and this one is a fastball. It caught the inside part of the plate. I thought, but I guess not. Ball 2 and strike 1.
Boy, I thought that was clearly a strike over the inside corner.
I did too. Anyway, Joe was saying that in the National League this year, pitch, this one is on the corner, outside part of the plate, 2 and 2. Only one team had a team batting average over 250.
Wow.
Which is stunning, really. 2-2 on the way, 1 out, 4 runs are in, bases are clear. This one is dribbled foul. Notice how I got the word dribble in here, Howard?
Yeah,
I thought
you're getting ready.
I thought very clever. Ball 2 and strike 2. So if only one team is hitting plus 250, the league batting average must be in the 230s, right? He didn't say that, so I don't know. There's a curve, and this one is fouled at the plate. Count holds at 2 and 2.
Yeah, you have more strikeouts than hits,
Yep.
which is not a good thing.
Yep. One out, nobody on, but 4 runs are in here in the visiting half of the fourth. There's a curve. He chased it down low, and he struck out. Oliva is gone for the second time. He was fanned by Nunez in the second, and Cox gets him here in the fourth. 2 are out, and Owen, a double and a run scored in that 7-run second, is the hitter. 1 for 2 on the afternoon. We're only in the fourth inning, and the Indians are closing in on batting around for the third time. First pitch here. Breaking pitch, fails to grab the outside corner. Down low, ball 1. 1 in the first, 7 in the second, 4 more here in the third. Omaha's done damage too, and it's 12-7. This one is lifted up into the air. Left field and deep, and this one is way over the wall. Another home run, the third of the inning. That's the 20th of the year for Owen. The Indians have 4 home runs in 4 innings, and they've also got a 13-7 lead. Now that is a football score, Howard. 13-7. So a home run from Cruz in the first, 3 more, with 5 runs in here in the fifth. Chavis homered, so did Bethancourt, and now Owen. And that is, 9 hits for the Indians, I think?
And as you said, 4 from homers. Good to see Hunter get his 20th.
Lefty versus lefty. The Indians threatening to bat around. This is the 8th man to hit here in the 4th inning. And the first pitch off the plate. The second one, 1-1. The left-handed hitting and Jigba at the plate. A walk and a run scored in the second. And this one is low and inside. Ball 2 and strike 1. Marcano on deck would be the 9th man to hit in the inning. The Indians sent 11 men to the plate in the second. And the left-hander delivers. And the left-handed hitting Smith and Jigba takes off the plate. Ball 3 and strike 1. Well, at this rate, the Storm Chasers are going to run out of pitchers. This is the 4th pitcher, and his pitch count is getting up there. He walks Smith and Jigba. So a runner aboard with 2 out, and the 9th man to hit in the inning, Marcano. So this means the Indians have, not even through 4 innings, hit around 3 times.
Wow. If this were a night game, we'd be coming up with West Coast finals.
Yeah. And now a conference of the mound, perhaps a pitching change. If so, that would be the 5th Omaha pitcher.
That's the pitching coach who's going out there, Dane Johnson.
So probably not a pitching change. You ever wonder, and I'm sure you know this because you talk to pitchers all the time, what could he possibly be saying to this guy? The guy knows he's not pitching well.
Right. There are times, I agree with you, but there are times when a pitching coach goes out there in a key moment and says the right thing at the right time.
Yes, no doubt.
May say something about a pitcher's mechanics, may say something about how they're going to pitch to the upcoming hitter, may just say something to try to relax the pitcher.
This is more than likely just the pitching coach buying the bullpen a little more time. We can't see the bullpen, so I don't know that, but I'm guessing. And I'm not as familiar with the rules as I should be. Isn't there a limit at the big league level on visits to the mound now?
There is 2 in our league, but it's pretty high total.
Ninth man in the inning, the left-handed hitting Marcano against Cox, and he takes the first pitch in for strike one.
You have a number of things they're trying, making a relief pitcher face 3 batters. I can appreciate some of these things, but...
One strike pitch is down low, ball 2, and the catcher, Melendez, is able to keep it from escaping. Thus, the runner does not advance. It was in the dirt. Nice block ball and a strike.
The crux of the problem, though, is too many strikeouts.
Yeah.
You know, I think the big leagues should get a pitch clock like we have. There's no doubt in my mind they should get it. We've had it since 2015, and after a couple of weeks, everybody adjusts to it.
Well, as long as hitters, as a fastball misses 2-1, are being taught to hit the way they are, in other words, it's okay to hit 188 if you hit 25 homers, then strikeouts are unavoidable, and it's really hard to truncate the game then with all of those pitches.
Well said.
Ball 2 and strike 1, and this time the left-handed hitting Marcano lifts it up left side near the foul line. Left fielder in, shortstop out, and the left fielder Blanco gets there in fair ground to take it. The Indians, though, bat around. They score 5 more times. And through 3.5, Indianapolis leads 13-7 on the Indianapolis Indians radio network.
More for your money, Andy Moore.
Andy Moore Kia in Avon has a new Kia you want in stock, and that saves you a ton of money.
Want to just sell your car? At Andy Moore, we'll buy your car today without you even leaving home. Just call us and tell us about your car, and we'll bring a check to your door. It's that easy. We need your car, so we'll pay top dollar.
So save a ton now at Andy Moore Kia in Avon.
Andy Moore.
Whether you need your shirts pressed or your everyday laundry done, call on Classic Cleaners, the only team in town the Indians trust to strike out their toughest stains. Classic Cleaners offers premier dry cleaning and laundry service at 17 convenient locations or straight to your door. To schedule free pickup at your home or office, visit ClassicCleaners.net. Classic Cleaners, Central Indiana's home run dry cleaner and laundry for over 30 years.
At McAllister's Deli, they know the great food is the foundation of any good get-together. And no matter the size of your event, McAllister's Catering has you covered. Handcrafted crowd pleasers like sandwich trays, mac and cheese, nacho and spud bars, shareable salads, breakfast options, desserts, and of course their famous tea. Let McAllister's cater your next event, and they'll handle the details from start to finish. Order online or at the restaurant. McAllister's Deli. Order ahead. They'll take care of the rest.
Now back to your Indianapolis Indians on Fox Sports 1260, Indy's sports station.
3.5 innings gone in Omaha. 20 runs so far. 13-7 Indianapolis. We play ball, bottom of the 4th. With the longtime play-by-play voice of the Indians, Howard Eckelmann, I'm Mark Boyle. Omaha will send 2, 3, and 4 to the plate as Beto gets set for his 4th inning of work. He has been shaky. He was staked to an 8-0 lead, gave up almost all of it. Omaha cut it to 8-7 before the Indians put 5 up in the top of this inning. First pitch fastball on the knees, outside corner, strike 1 to Witt.
Well, the Blue Jays won their second straight after they had dropped 4 of 5. So they beat the Twins today 5-2. They had to win.
Pitch dribbled foul at the plate, strike 2 on Witt.
They now are a game and a half behind both the Yankees and the Red Sox, so whoever loses that game tonight at Fenway between New York and Boston will be a game ahead of the Blue Jays, and the Yankees open a series in Toronto in a couple of days, a 3-game series.
Didn't the Blue Jays, 2-strike pitch on the way, and that's just off the corner, 1-2 to Bobby Witt Jr. leading off the 4th. Didn't the Blue Jays start the season playing their home games in Buffalo?
Yes, and they did last year too, and they were until a couple of months ago. They were in Buffalo.
Ball 1 and strike 2. Full windup, and the pitch. This one is hit up into the air. Right center field. The outfielders are converging. The center fielder is there. The right fielder is there. Madris yields to Oliva, and the center fielder makes the play. 1 out. Top half of the 4th, and it brings up Prado 2 for 2 with a home run. 13-7 Indianapolis, bottom half of the 4th, final game of the series, final road game for the Indians. Left-handed hitting Prado steps in. Singled in the first, was then erased in an inning-ending double play. And he takes the first pitch here low and in for ball 1. Then hit that home run to start the 3rd. That was part of a 5-run inning for Omaha.
St. Louis has won 15 in a row. Cardinals and Cubs in the bottom of the ninth. Cardinals ahead 4-2. Cubs have 2 on, 1 man out.
Can you put that into context? Here's the 1-ball pitch, and this one is slash foul, third base side, 1-1. Is that the longest winning streak since when? I remember the Athletics had that long
20
streak.
in a row, the one that was featured in Moneyball.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, though.
Yeah. Yankees had 13 in a row this year. Now, I remember the Cardinals in 1963 won 19 out of 20, but they didn't win 15 in a row.
Ball and a strike right down the middle at the knees, 1-2 to Prado.
They won 19 out of 20 in September, came within a game of the Dodgers, hosted the Dodgers in a 3-game series with all that momentum, and the Dodgers swept the series.
1-2. This one is swung on and hit on the ground to the right side. Second baseman plays it on the outfield grass, and Chavis is able to get it over to first before Prado arrives. 2 up, 2 down, and Rivera will hit.
This 15 in a row might be the longest since Oakland. It's 20 in a row, which was about 20 years ago, I think, or close to it.
What's the record? Do you know offhand?
I think the New York Giants in 1916 won 26 in a row. That might be the record.
Rivera will hit. He has hit the ball to the shortstop twice, a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play in the first, and then he reached in that 5-run inning when Cruz fielded his grounder and threw it over the first baseman's head. He takes the first pitch for called strike 1. 2 errors on Cruz today. Conceivably could have been charged with a third had he not been able to pick up that drop pop-up in shallow left and get a force at second. Count now 2 strikes to Rivera as he takes this pitch in there. Beto looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Did he go around? A pitch, a high fastball. He chased it, and Rivera is gone. So the first 1-2-3 inning of the afternoon for Beto, making his AAA debut. The Storm Chasers go in order. We've played 4, and the Indians are in front 13-7 on the Indianapolis Indians radio network.
My daughter's making college plans, and she's got a long wish list for her future. We toured IUPUI, and we're impressed. With the campus located in downtown Indianapolis, she'll have access to real-world opportunities that will put her education to work. And with professors ranked in the top 50 nationwide for exceptional undergraduate teaching, she'll have the guidance she needs to make her future goals a reality. Want to know more? Go to iupui.edu.
I've got some advice for you. If you need a very special gift for a very special someone, then you need to see my friend Mary and her spectacular collection of beautiful jewelry at Chavis Fine Jewelers at 82nd and Fall Creek. Mary's been making me a hero for years, and she'll do the same for you. They'll even gift wrap it for you also. A special something to fit everyone's budget. Come on, do you really think she wants a shiny new vacuum? Or would you rather have a shiny new diamond? Chavis Fine Jewelers really are a cut above.
WNDE Indianapolis.
And the filet mignon, medium rare.
A steak is like a burger, only better.
These seats are amazing. Can you believe we're this close?
The front row is like the nosebleeds, only better. And Elements Financial? It's like a bank, only better. Yes, Elements offers higher deposit rates, lower loan rates, and fewer fees to help you succeed financially. Visit elements.org to learn more. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Back to the Indianapolis Indians on Fox Sports 1260, Indy Sports Station.
Top of the 5th in Omaha. Indians have been in front since the first hitter of the game. Cruz homered. They would eventually move up 8-0. Storm Chasers cut it to 8-7, and now the Indians lead 13-7 as we go to the 5th. And back to the play-by-play voice of the Indianapolis Indians, Howard Eckelmann.
Thanks, Mark. Jake Newberry in to pitch, and he'll be the 5th Omaha pitcher of the game as we go to the 5th inning. Wow. You know, you and I were discussing about these 7-inning doubleheaders, which we've had in the minor leagues for a long time, going back to the early 70s. At one time, they were playing Sunday afternoon doubleheaders, 9 innings first game, 7 innings second game, twilight doubleheaders 7 and 9. But it's been 7 and 7 since I got here in the mid-70s. However, as Newberry stands in, O'Neill Cruz looks in, and he takes a strike. Split doubleheaders, Mark. in the minor leagues. Always have been 9 innings, yet they've been 7 innings in the big leagues. Fastball outside a ball, 1-1. Cruz has homered and walked twice.
I understand the reasoning behind it, but I'm not really a fan of it. I mean, it'd be like if we had some of our games go 3 quarters instead of 4.
Right. Pitch outside a ball. Well, instead of 12-minute quarters, you played 9-minute quarters.
Or something along those lines. There are legitimate reasons to play 7-inning doubleheaders. I understand that. But as a fan, I like to see 9-inning baseball.
And a fastball line to left center field. That's a base hit. Cruz has his second hit.
I wonder if you could get a consensus. Do you think the players like the 7-inning doubleheaders?
I think so. It gives them a little breather. It is tougher to maintain a hitting streak in a 7-inning doubleheader, 1 fewer plate appearance.
Yeah. And what are the scoring rules? Do you still have to go 5 as a starter to get the win?
Yes, and that should be changed, though.
4 you would go?
Yep. 4 is a greater percentage of 7 than 5 is of 9. Michael Chavis takes low ball 1.
Yep.
He has a 2-run homer today. Indians ahead 13-7, top of the 5th. The right-hander stretches and delivers. And a breaking ball outside and in the dirt.
You like the runner on second base in the extras?
When they first put it in our league in 2018, I was very much opposed to it initially. And then I saw it in action, and I like it a great deal because of the element of strategy it adds. And there's a pitch a little bit low. And it brings something. It does also prevent those 14, 15-inning games, too, which was probably the main reason they put it in. But I like the element of strategy. What do you do with that man on second? Do you bunt him over? Fastball misses outside. That's a walk. So Cruz singles. Chavis walks. 2 on, nobody out. Rodolfo Castro, the batter. He has a 2-run double and a single.
Potential for another big inning here.
Indians ahead 13-7. Newberry stretches and delivers. And it's low inside a ball, 1-0. 2 men on, nobody out in the top of the 5th. Indians back home Wednesday to face the Nashville Sounds. Final homestand of the season begins, 5-game series. The right-hander sets, the runners lead away. And the pitch swung, wrapped on the ground in the hole, base hit right field. Here comes the throw to the plate. It is not in time. Sliding in and scoring is Cruz. Chavis to second. The Indians have another run, and it's 14-7. 2 on, nobody out. Castro's third RBI of the game.
It's interesting to contrast the afternoon that Cruz has had at the plate with what has happened to him in the field. The 2 throwing errors, the drop pop-up. At the plate, though, 4 appearances, reached every time, a home run, 4 runs scored.
Here's Christian Bethancourt. Yep, we'll see when there's talk they will move Cruz to another position. They haven't yet. Right field might be the spot. He has a strong arm. Bethancourt swings and misses. Strike 1. He has a 2-run homer. Runners at first and second, a run in. Top of the 5th, nobody out. Newberry, the 5th Omaha pitcher. And the runners lead away. Newberry stretches and delivers. in the dirt and outside all the way back to the screen, and that's a wild pitch. So Chavis to third, Castro to second.
We're only in the fifth inning, Howard, and the Indians have already established a season high for runs scored. Previous best was 13.
14 runs.
And we're not even halfway through the game.
Yep. That'll keep the media relations department working. Going back the last time they scored this many runs, if this keeps up. And here's a foul back out of play. Indians ahead 14-7. They led 8-0. Then it was 8-7. Newberry stretches. Runners lead. And the pitch is hit high in the air. Short center field. Everybody looking up. And it drops. Now it's kicked away. Another run scores. Here's a throw to second. He is out at second. So Bethancourt with a single that dropped among three players. Chavis scores. Bethancourt out at second. Castro goes to third. And let's see, Bethancourt is out. 8-4. That's the only way you get an out these days. Now Bly Madris, the batter, who is struck out, singled, and fly deep to center. And he swings and misses at a changeup that was outside, strike one.
Bethancourt has knocked in 4 runs this afternoon. Had that home run back in the fourth.
And we've seen a few outs on the base paths.
Yep.
And outs are tough to come by today. Fastball a little bit low. That's the first out of the inning.
To a degree, this has been a very sloppily played game with base running gaffes, fielding errors.
Yeah, and
a lot
plays,
of walks.
You're so right, in plays that could have been made that are ruled hits. Box score doesn't tell you everything. Here's a ground ball foul right side. So the count, 1-2. Guys just hit and hit and hit. And the Indians ahead 15-7. Newberry, the fifth Omaha pitcher of the game. He sets and delivers. Swung on, hit high in the air, right center field. Fox moving over there, and the center fielder has it. Tagging and scoring is Castro. A sac fly and an RBI from Madris. There are 2 away, and the bases are empty. And 3 runs are in, and the Indians now lead 16-7. And Jared Oliver, the batter, walked and scored and struck out twice. He's got to feel pretty bad about that. All these hits and runs. 2 outs, bases empty, top of the 5th. Pitch is outside and in the dirt, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. And the right-hander stretches and delivers. Swung on and missed, 1-1. Hunter Owen waits on deck. Mr. Owen hit his 20th home run of the season his last time up. The young man from Evansville. And here's a swing and a miss at a pitch up and away. Hunter Owen just turned 28. couple of days ago. Newberry stretches and delivers. He swings and misses at a pitch that bounces a good deal in front of home plate. Strike three, side retired. 3 more runs at the end of 4.5. Indians 16, Omaha 7.
Hey, Indians fans, the next time you're at Victory Field, be sure to order Admiral Nelson's Premium Spiced Rum. An Admiral Nelson Spiced Rum cocktail at the stadium is the perfect way to enjoy the game. Or better yet, pick some up if you're watching or listening at home. Enjoy the smooth, bold flavor that mixes well with cola, ginger ale, or whatever you're in the mood for. Make life taste better with Admiral Nelson's Premium Spiced Rum, the official spiced rum of the Indianapolis Indians. Admiral Nelson's Rum reminds you to think wisely, drink wisely.
If you're suffering from knee or hip arthritis, the resulting pain can keep you from activities you love. Mako Smart Robotics is an innovative solution for many suffering from arthritis. Mako uses 3D CT-based planning software, so your surgeon can know more about your anatomy to create a personalized joint replacement surgical plan, helping you get back to the things you love quicker, like rooting on your favorite hometown team. Learn more at MakoSmartRobotics.com. All surgery carries risk. See your orthopedic surgeon to discuss your potential benefits and risks. Not all patients will have the same postoperative recovery and activity level. Individual results vary.
Family owned and operated, Peterman Heating and Cooling has been serving Indianapolis and the surrounding areas for over 26 years. We're one of the fastest growing Bryant dealers in the Midwest with an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. We believe in excellent service at a fair price. For HVAC service, repair, or replacement, give us a call today.
I'm Pete Peterman with Peterman Heating and Cooling in Bryant. We will do whatever it takes.
The Indianapolis Indians are always right here on Fox Sports 1260, Indy Sports Station.
So we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning, where the Indians ahead 16-7. Ryan McBroom will lead off for Omaha. Osvaldo Bido has thrown 69 pitches in the first 4 innings. McBroom has walked in both of his plate appearances. And we're ready to play ball in the last of the 5th. MJ Melendez on deck. Tyrone Blanco to follow. Indians leading 16-7. And a breaking ball low and away, ball 1-0. And this breaking ball, swing and a miss. He chased a pitch outside, 1-1. Bido delivers. Swinging a high fly ball foul to the right side, out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And again, the right-hander looks in. He winds and delivers. Fastball runs high and away, a ball. And a breaking ball is a swing and a miss, and he well, I guess he fouled it. Foul ball, it holds 2-2. And the righty pitches. Fastball. A little bit outside. Ball 3, and the count's full. And the 3-2 pitch is a breaking ball over the inside corner. Got him looking. He didn't think so. And he's talking it over with plate umpire Eric Backus. And he makes his point and leaves, and there's 1 away. Fourth strikeout for Bido. Now, MJ Melendez, I would think the Indians would have a pitching change in the 6th inning. Bido's thrown 77 pitches. Melendez has hit a 2-run homer and hit into a force play.
He has thrown as many as 7 innings in a game at the Double-A level.
Pitch outside, a ball. I would think, though, his pitch count might have been a little better than this in that particular outing. Here's a swing and a foul out of play left side.
He threw 76 pitches in 7 innings back on August the 26th.
Yeah, and here he's thrown 78, and we're in the bottom of the 5th. So you reinforce that point. Fastball runs up high and away.
The most pitches he's thrown in a game this season is 90. That was back in June.
And this pitch is swung on and fouled, left to the plate, out of play.
You know, it's so interesting the way, not just baseball, but all games change. In our game, for example, the three-point shot far more prevalent than it's ever been. I just saw a stat the other day where, was it 220 pitches that Nolan Ryan threw in a game? It was over 200.
Koufax, I'm sorry, here's a swing and a foul back. Warren Spahn and Juan Marichal did that when they hooked up in a 16-inning game in 1963. They each threw over 200 pitches. So I'm not sure if Nolan Ryan ever did it. He might have.
I think he did. I recall reading it anyway, assuming the stat was correct.
And here's a swing and a foul, left to the plate, out of play. It holds 2-2. 1 out, bases empty. Indians ahead 16-7. Bottom of the 5th. And a breaking ball outside, and the count's full.
If you allowed a pitcher to throw, well, first of all, you wouldn't, but if you allowed a pitcher to throw 200 pitches today, you would lose your job before the game ended.
Maybe 120 and you'd lose your job. Here's a high pop foul out of play. It holds 3-2. A lot of organizations, 110 is it. That's it, max. Full count.
According to this, which comes from the never failing to be accurate internet, the probable MLB record for pitches thrown in a game is Leon Cador of the Brooklyn Dodgers. Pitched every inning of a 26-inning game in 1920. It is estimated that he threw 360 pitches.
Geez. Pitches inside, ball 4. A walk to Melendez.
Wow.
Tyrone Blanco, the batter, he swings a ground ball hit to the left side. Cruz has it to Chavis, 1 on to first, not in time. They get the force play, 6-4. Melendez erased, Blanco aboard. You know, when you say that, you said 1926.
Yeah.
That's not like it was 1890 or 1895 before the rules changed. It was still 60 feet 6 inches.
Now, according to this same website, the record for fewest pitches thrown in a complete game, take a guess.
Let me think about that a second. Eric Mejia, the batter, he's doubled in a run. Let's see, 9, I would say about 50, 55 maybe?
58.
When was that?
It doesn't say the year. It just says Charles Henry Red Barrett, who played for the Reds, the Braves, and the Cardinals. And he was born in 1915, so let's say it was probably in the 30s maybe?
30s or 40s.
Yeah.
Foul back out of play.
58 pitches.
Maybe we can talk to somebody in his family or something to help us out.
Well, he passed away 30 years ago, so he's not available.
Right, I wouldn't have thought so. Pitches in for a strike. Maybe a family member, his son.
Yeah, maybe.
One ball, 2 strikes. The right-hander's pitch is fouled back out of play. We had a lot of foul balls in this game, too. Mejia's 1 for 2, an RBI double. 2 down, a runner aboard. We're in the bottom of the 5th. The Indians are ahead 16-7.
It was August 10th, 1944. He was then with the Boston Braves and pitched a 2-0 shutout.
All right, that was during the war. The pitch is inside. They may have tried to speed things up deliberately. They did some experimenting then. And Beto has thrown 90 pitches now. This could be on his last hitter or two. Here's a swing and a line drive. It's a base hit to right field. So he didn't get the third out to be eligible for the victory. Blanco to second. Let's see if Vito stays in the game. Here's Gabriel Cancel. He singled and struck out.
He needs to get that one more out to be eligible. Although when you get right down to it, he hasn't really pitched that well.
No, 7 runs. Oh, we're going to have a mound visit. Let's see if it's Brian Esposito or is it Joel Hanrahan. That's Brian Esposito, and I think he'll make a pitching change then.
Yep.
Well, he was trying to get him the win, but he's thrown 90 pitches now, and Espo felt that's long enough.
And that matched a season high. I mentioned earlier he'd thrown 90 when he was in Altoona back earlier in the season in June.
And that is Matt Eckelmann trotting in, right-hander Matt Eckelmann, who was a strike thrower. And he'll come on with 2 on, 2 out in the bottom of the 5th. And the Indians ahead 16-7. You know, we got so involved here, I was looking at that Cardinal-Cub game,
and
I forgot about it with an out in the 9th inning. I just got a text from Robin. It says the Cardinals won it 4-2, 16 in a row the Cardinals have won. Wow.
Well, they could get, I don't know what their schedule is, but they've got to have 6 or 7 games left.
They probably, I'll tell you in just a minute how many they have left.
So
they have 6 left. They're 87 and 69.
So in theory, they could get to 22, and you said 26 was the record, correct?
Yes, and I think it is the record. New York Giants, 1916. But then, if you lose the wild card game, what good does it do you?
None. None at all.
And they'll be playing the wild card game on the road in either San Fran or Los Angeles. And right now the Giants entering play today have a 2-game lead over the Dodgers. Giants won, Dodgers lost yesterday. So here's the right-hander Matt Eckelmann, 27 years old. He'll be 28 on October the 6th.
6'3", 285 pounds. Big man.
Yep. Now he's 2-5 with a 5.03 ERA. You really can't say he's pitched well with that ERA, but he's pitched better than that ERA does indicate. Cancel the batter, and he swings and misses. He's come into situations like this, thrown strikes, gotten out of some jams, pitching in long and middle relief. Cancel is blooped a hit to right and struck out. Breaking ball, low ball. The one thing he doesn't do much of is walk people, and that's a positive. Let's see his numbers there. 62 and 2/3 innings, only 14 walks, which is excellent. Runners lead first and second. And a fastball is a strike at the knees. 1-2. Indians ahead 16-7 in the bottom of the 5th. Eckelmann stretches and delivers. A little bit outside, that's a ball. 2-2. Lucius Fox on deck. And this pitch is outside and in the dirt, ball 3.
We were talking about pitch count earlier. The highest pitch count since 1990, more in the modern era. 172 by Tim Wakefield of the Pirates.
Well, that's a knuckleballer, so that's different. You can do that with them. But even in this day and age, you wouldn't have that.
How many knuckleballers are even around anymore?
Very few. There's a swing and a foul back. It holds 3-2. We had one Stephen Wright, and it may be the end of the line for him. He was released by the Pirates. And he didn't have success this year. Long time ago, there were a lot more knuckleball pitchers.
Yeah.
A little before our time in the 50s, the Washington Senators had an entire starting rotation, 4-man rotation of knuckleballers.
Well, I remember as a kid.
And there's a swing and a foul back. It holds 3-2.
I remember as a kid seeing Wilbur Wood pitch both games of a doubleheader.
Well, I remember watching that game on TV on a Friday night at Yankee Stadium. In July of 1973, he started the first game. They knocked him out in like the first or second inning. He came back and started the second game. They knocked him out then, too. And again, the 3-2 pitch is swung on and grounded, fair ball down the left field line into the corner. That'll score 1, possibly 2. 2 runs will score on the play. And it's a double for Consell and 2 RBIs. Scoring Blanco, scoring Mejia. It's now the Indians 16, Omaha 9.
So that's 25 runs in less than 5 innings.
Wow. And a runner at second, 2 outs, and the batter, Lucius Fox. Those runs are charged to Beto. That didn't do him any good.
4 2/3 innings, 9 runs.
Wow. Fox, the batter, he has a 2-run single. He swings and misses, strike 1.
I found this interesting. You probably knew it, but I didn't. Did you know that MLB has only been officially tracking pitch counts since 1999?
No, I did not know that. It was not even talked about, I can tell you, years ago.
Right.
You never even thought about it if a guy threw 130 pitches. Here's a swing and a miss, strike 2. You know, I've been broadcasting here since the mid-'70s and the 70s and the 80s, 90s. You never talked about it.
No.
It wasn't even discussed. The right-hander sets and delivers. In the dirt, and that's a ball. Dug out cleanly by Bethencourt. 1-2. Indians 16, Omaha 9. In the bottom of the 5th. That's right, the bottom of the 5th. We got plenty of baseball to go. Here's a pitch low and away, and that's a ball. Consell at second, 2 outs. Eckelmann delivers, swung on, line drive, base hit to the gap in right center field. Extra bases. Alvo will pick it up. Consell scores, and Fox has a double. Boy, Eckelman's faced 2 batters, and they both have doubled. And it's now the Indians 16 and Omaha 10.
26 runs in less than 5 innings. I'm becoming obsessed with this pitch count.
Total pitches in the game, you mean?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, that's a good point. Although nobody will throw probably more than Beto did in 90.
Well, keep in mind that they weren't tracked officially until 99, so this is not official. But do you know the pitch count? Fewest pitches thrown in a perfect game. 74.
Catfish Hunter?
Addie Joss.
That's a long time ago.
1908, yes, correct.
Perfect game has got to be a low pitch count. So here's Bobby Witt Jr., the batter. Eckelman's pitch, swing, and a high fly ball, short left center. Who's going to get this? Here comes the left fielder, Marcano, and he makes the catch, and the inning is finally over. At the end of 5, Indianapolis 16, Omaha 10.
Ruoff Mortgage knows your community. We know mortgages. Our goal is for everyone to discover the possibilities in the homeownership experience. We understand that buying or refinancing a home is never a small or simple task. So whether you're searching for your first home, refinancing your current mortgage, or making plans for another residence, Ruoff will be by your side through the entire journey. And with every closing, we're opening doors. Ruoff Mortgage is the Indiana corporation licensed by the Indiana Department of Financial Institutions. This is not an offer for extension of credit or commitment to lend. All loans must satisfy company underwriting guidelines. Equal housing lender, NMLS number 141868.
Want to strike out stroke? You only need to remember, be fast. Call 911. B, sudden loss of balance. E, eyes, check for vision loss. F, face, look for an uneven smile. A, look for arm weakness. S, listen for slurred speech. T, time to call 911. Stroke is a medical emergency. If you see someone with those signs, be fast. Call 911 and strike out stroke. Learn more at strokeawareness.com.
Save today on your next project with 11% off everything now at Menards. Dutch Boy Max Bond is an exterior paint and primer with extreme adhesion technology. It provides superior adhesion to chalky, dirty, glossy, or previously painted surfaces. Save today on your next project with 11% off all Dutch Boy Max Bond exterior paint. Good through Saturday, October 2nd. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Now back to your Indianapolis Indians on Fox Sports 1260, Indy Sports Station.
And we get ready for the top of the sixth. Randy Jones' name came up. We were talking about few pitches thrown in the game, and Randy Jones, 1976 with the Padres, was throwing games that were lasting less than 2 hours left and right.
He won the Cy Young in 76. He was 22-14. But his career record was 100 and 123.
Oh, so that was his year. What was his ERA in 76 when he won it?
2.74.
That's impressive. Do you have his innings total and walks?
Yep. Let's see. He pitched, he started 40 games, 315 and a third, walked 50.
That's magnificent.
Yeah.
Okay, so we go to the sixth, and here's Mark.
16-10, Indianapolis with the lead. They've been in front from the beginning. O'Neill Cruz with a leadoff home run. They would eventually lead 8-0 before Omaha cut it to 8-7. It's now 16-10 as we play ball in the top of the sixth. And it is the bottom third of the Indianapolis order. Right-handed hitting Hunter Owen at the plate. 2 for 3, a double, a home run, a pair of runs scored. And the count is 1-1. The right-hander Newberry in his second inning of work. He was roughed up for 3 runs in the fifth. And now in the sixth, he'll face the bottom third of the order. This pitch is down below the knees. Ball 2 and strike 1 to Owen. Indians have scored in every inning except the third. They went down in order in the third against the left-hander Cox. And then they started hitting him around in the next inning. In fact, they batted around against him in the next inning. This pitch is off the plate, 3-1. Every man in the order has reached base. Every man except Madris has scored at least 1 run. Ball 3, strike 1, and this pitch just off the outside corner, so a leadoff walk here in the sixth. Third time that Owen has reached base. And it brings up the number 8 hitter, Smith and Jigba, who in this game has walked twice, scored once. He is the only Indian without a hit, but he has been on base. Left-handed hitter, right-handed pitcher. Runner at first, nobody out. Top of the sixth, the Indians trying to build on a 16-10 advantage. And the first pitch here is swung on and missed, strike 1. Omaha has used 5 pitchers. Serpa made his AAA debut, failed to get out of the second inning. Then Ramirez failed to get anybody out, faced 5 hitters. Nobody from either team, from a pitching perspective, has had any success this afternoon. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Indianapolis, 11 games under 500 on the road this season. They have a winning record at home. They'll finish the season at home next week. 2 strikes. Right-hander ready with a runner on at first, and he chased a pitch down low. And so 1 man is gone here in the 6th inning. A strikeout for Newberry, his second in an inning and a third work. And it brings up Marcano. 1 for 3, a run scored, a pair of RBI. And he'll hit with 1 out and 0 on at first. After that, back to the top of the order, Cruz, who has reached base and scored in each of his 4 plate appearances. Left-handed hitter, right-handed pitcher. And this one is chopped foul at the plate, strike 1. Back to Randy Jones. 22-14. He had a 20-win season the year before, so in 2 years he went 42-26. Over the rest of his career, he went 58-97. Very odd. And he never had another winning season with the exception of his rookie year when he was 7-6. There's a foul, first base side. Count goes to 2 strikes. And as I said off air, Howard, he is the only pitcher in Major League history to win a Cy Young Award and have a losing career record. Hit for the Padres and the Mets last 2 years in New York. 2-strike count, runner at first, pitch on the way. And was it outside? Was it high? From where I'm sitting, Howard, that was called strike 3, but instead it's 1-2. I'll defer to the hitter here. Most of these professional players have better eyes than I do. So he didn't swing, and he was rewarded. Ball 1, strike 2. Here it comes. This time he does swing, and he chops it to the right side. It'll be played, and successfully so. Retired at first is Marcano. Owen moves on to second. And it was a double play? Yeah, I didn't really see where that went.
It was a 3-6-3 double play.
No,
Prado, Witt, and Prado.
And by the way, for future reference, I have no problems with you correcting me. No need to whisper. You can just say it on the air. 3-6-3. Thank you for sparing me, though. 2 are out. I've said this to you before. 3 are out. That was the second and third out of the inning. I've said this to you before, and we'll break here in a minute because the inning is over. I don't know how you do this off these monitors. It is so much harder than basketball. So much harder.
Well, we've done a lot of them.
Yeah, I guess as time goes on, you become used to the idiosyncrasies. But we will take a break here. The Indians go in the 6th. And now Omaha will hit, trailing 16-10.
More for your money. Andy Moore.
Andy Moore Nissan in Avon is Indiana's largest Nissan dealer because we have the Nissan you want in stock. And that saves you a ton of money.
Want to just sell your car? At Andy Moore, we'll buy your car today without you even leaving home. Just call us and tell us about your car, and we'll bring a check to your door. It's that easy.
So save a ton now at Indiana's largest, Andy Moore Nissan in Avon.
Andy Moore.
A science class at George Washington High School just learned how smart distribution networks ensure safe, reliable, and efficient energy. At AES, we are putting these next-generation innovations to work right here in Indianapolis so that our community can enjoy smart energy solutions that power our lives and energize the next generation of innovators. IPL is now AES Indiana. We are accelerating the future of energy together.
Yingling Traditional Lager, the beer for drinkers who know how to soar higher and spread their wings. So prepare yourself for takeoff and let your night take flight. When your lips meet that cold, crisp amber lager, there's no looking back. So go for glory. Tonight's about the lager, and this lager is all about soaring higher. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings. DJ Yingling, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please drink responsibly.
Back to the Indianapolis Indians on Fox Sports 1260, Indy Sports Station.
Bottom of the 6th in Omaha, 16-10 for the Indians. Eckelmann stays in the game, and he'll face 3, 4, and 5 here. Prado leads off in the 6th, his team down by 6 runs. Took the first pitch for a strike and the next one for a ball, 1-1. Prado 2 for 3, a home run, a run scored, obviously, and that home run was a solo homer in the 3rd. This is his first chance to face Eckelmann, and the pitch on the way is a bit low. And it's ball 2 and strike 1. Omaha trailing 16-10 with Howard Eckelmann. I'm Mark Boyle. Final road game of the season for the Indians. Finishing the schedule at home next week starting on Tuesday. Nashville will be in. Ball 2, strike 1. Right-hander ready, left-handed hitter, and he takes a rip and misses 2-2. 3, 4, and 5. Prado, Rivera, and McBroom. Omaha got 2 in the second, 5 in the third, 3 in the fifth. Yet they're trailing 16-10. Their pitching has been, to say the least, shaky. This pitch in the dirt. And the count to Prado, 3-2, leading off the home half of the sixth. The Indians, a single run in the first, 7 more in the second, then 5 in the fourth, and 3 in the fifth. The right-handed pitcher, Matt Eckelmann, is ready, and he comes with a fastball down the middle, swung on, and missed. So Prado strikes out to start the home half of the sixth, and that brings up Rivera, hitless in 3 trips, grounded into a double play, did score a run when he reached on an error. Back in the third. So would we conclude then, Howard, that Randy Jones is the most unlikely Cy Young winner of all time? Can you think of another off the top of your head that would be in that category?
Now, that's a good point, and it's a great trivia question.
Rivera fouls the first pitch, strike 1.
Because it happened, 45 years ago?
Yeah.
That's, it's a great question. I wouldn't have gotten the answer, although I remember Randy Jones in 1976, and boy, there was such talk about every game he pitches is less than 2 hours, how great it is.
This pitch, a bit high, off speed, ball and a strike, and it's another illustration of how the game is different. He started 40 games and pitched 315 innings, so he averaged nearly 8 innings a start.
Yeah, and he pitched every fourth day to start 40 games.
1-1 on the way, and this one is swung on. And it's 1-2, fouled away.
And you know what the mindset was back then, Mark, for the guys who were workhorses? They would make 40 starts, and their thought was, if I can win half of them, I'm a 20-game winner.
I think I shared this with you. When I was in St. Louis, I did a post-game show on the Cardinals broadcast with Bob Gibson. And he was, to say the least, a workhorse, a Hall of Fame pitcher, had a fantastic career. This pitch is high, a fastball at the shoulders, and it's 2-2. And we were talking about relief pitching. This was at the time, the late 80s, when Tony La Russa was introducing the one-inning closer. The game was starting to change, and we were talking about relief pitching one day, and Bob Gibson said, when I pitched, you were in the bullpen because you weren't good enough to start. Right. Now you have specialists who are excellent pitchers. There's a swing and a miss, and a strikeout Rivera. First 2 men go down on strikes here in the sixth. But back in those days, your best pitchers were your 4 starters, generally speaking.
And that goes back, although it had started to change at that time, but that goes way, way back where,
people forget that Dennis Eckersley was a quality starting pitcher with the Cleveland Indians early in his career.
I think he threw a no-hitter, in fact.
I think he did.
But going back even farther, there were washed-up starters sometimes, guys in the bullpen.
McBroom hits with nobody on, 2 out. And Eckelmann is wide with a fastball, ball 1. First 2 men have struck out.
Bob Gibson, by the way, I think should go down as the best World Series pitcher ever.
Certainly in the conversation. Who would be better, swing and a miss, 1-1?
Well, Whitey Ford won more games, but Gibson won 7 straight World Series starts and might have had an 8th, but Curt Flood misplayed a fly ball in Game 7 in '68.
1-1, swung on and missed. That was the year that 1-2 the count. That was the year that Lolich won 3 games in the series.
Including Game 7 on 2 days rest. See, here's a way a game has changed. Everybody's on 4 days rest.
Didn't Koufax pitch Game 7 in '65 on 2 days rest?
Yes, he did.
There's a swing and a miss. McBroom is gone. The side retired in order, and Eckelmann struck out all 3. So up and down in order are the Storm Chasers. We played 6. The Indians are in front 16-10. This is the Indianapolis Indians Radio Network.
It's that time of year again. Baseball and fun outdoors. Make Family Leisure your one-stop shop for outdoor fun. Family Leisure is the area's largest dealer of pools, spas, patio furniture, play gyms, outdoor rooms, and more. Open 7 days a week at the corner of Pendleton Pike and Oak Landon Road. Or you can shop online at FamilyLeisure.com. Proud sponsor of the Indians for over 20 years. Stop in with the family. Mention Indianapolis Indians and get a free baseball. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together.
At Moe's, we've always been real Southwest. And we're proud of it. It's in our name after all. And we've always been real people, using real Southwest flavors, making real Southwest eats. And we've always built everything right on the line, fresh, just for you. Real, fresh Southwest. Welcome to Moe's. It's new, it's better, it's steakier. Come in and try our new sirloin steak today.
This is a frosted glass. This is ice. This is Jim Beam apple. And this is a splash of ice-cold club soda. This is the flavor. Introducing Jim Beam apple. We made history with the most mouthwatering glass of Jim Beam in the world. How will you make yours? Jim Beam. Make history. Drink smart. Jim Beam apple liqueur infused with Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. 35% alcohol by volume. Copyright 2016. James B. Beam Distilling Company, Claremont, Kentucky.
The Indianapolis Indians are always right here on Fox Sports 1260, Indy Sports Station.
Top of the seventh in Omaha with Howard Eckelmann. I'm Mark Boyle. The Indians are in front of the Storm Chasers, 16-10. New pitcher, the sixth of the afternoon for Omaha, is Josh Dye, a left-hander. This is his AAA debut. He was promoted earlier this week, a 2.52 ERA and 60 innings of work in AA ball at Northwest Arkansas.
Going back to what we were discussing, how Mickey Lolich won the seventh game on 2 days rest in 1968, and you mentioned Sandy Koufax, he won the seventh game on 2 days rest in 1965, and Bob Gibson in 1964 won the seventh game on 2 days rest. So 3 times in 5 years there, you had the Game 7 winner pitching on 2 days rest.
That would never even be considered today.
Well, everything's 4 days rest now. The one exception that was successful, Josh Beckett in 2003, Jack McKeon brought him in on 3 days rest to win Game 6 at Yankee Stadium for the Marlins as they beat the Yanks in the World Series. And he left himself open to a second guess. He could have saved him for Game 7, but he said, nope, he's my best. He's going on 3 days rest, and he was outstanding.
Josh Dye, the left-hander, this is his AAA debut. Tall and lean, 6'5", 180 pounds. And he'll go to work in the seventh inning, facing the top of the Indians' order. Cruz, the left-handed hitter, steps in. 4 appearances. Reached all 4 times, including a home run. Scored all 4 times. He's walked twice, and he has a single, and he takes the first pitch for called strike 1. Left-handed pitcher, left-handed hitter. Indians try to build on a 6-run lead here in the visiting half of the seventh. There's a fastball at the knees, called strike 2. Josh Dye was selected in the 23rd round of the draft in 2018 by Kansas City. 4 years at Florida Gulf Coast University before that. He's ready here. He's got the advantage, 2 strikes, and this time he got Cruz to chase a pitch in the dirt. And Cruz retired for the first time this afternoon. 1 out. And the number 2 man in the batting order will hit, Michael Chavis. Chavis in this game, a home run, hit by a pitch, walked. He scored 3 times. Everybody in the lineup except Madris has scored at least once. And the left-hander is ready. He works from the set with nobody on base. And the first pitch to the right-handed hitter, swung on and missed for strike 1.
We don't have that here. I remember calling a game a long time ago, back in the 80s, when Denver played in Indianapolis. Denver had a great night. Every player had at least 2 hits.
Wow. 1 strike count here, left-hander ready. This time he fires and succeeds. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Surely no team has ever had a game where they've had every guy get 3 hits.
I don't see how that's possible.
2-strike pitch on the way. This one is up at the shoulders. Fastball, 1-2. Josh Dye, his first inning of work. He is the 6th Omaha pitcher. Indians lead the Storm Chasers 16-10. 1-2 on the way. There's a swing and a miss. So in the top of the inning, they went down in order, 3 strikeouts. Now in the bottom of the 6th, I should say, and now here in the top of the 7th, first 2 men have fanned for the Indians. So that's between the two teams who have combined to score 26 runs in just over 6 innings. That is 5 consecutive strikeouts. 3 Storm Chasers in the bottom of the 6th, 2 Indians here in the top of the 7th. Castro will hit. Solid afternoon for him. 3 for 4, a double, 3 runs scored, 3 knocked in.
It's much more fun when balls are being put in play, which we've seen a lot of today, no doubt. But
yes. Left-hander delivers. This time he's wide with a fastball, ball 1. Their pitching has retired the side in order once. That was in the 3rd when Cox got the bottom 3rd in order. Here Dye trying to retire the top of the order successfully. He struck out the first 2, and now a swing and a miss Castro, and it's 1-1. They've used 6 pitchers. The Indians have used 2. In his AAA debut, Beto couldn't get that final out in the 5th, so he's not eligible for the win. Next pitch is swung on and bounced to the left side toward the hole. Third baseman cuts it off, and the long throw across from third to first is successful. Nice play, Rivera, and the inning ends up and down in order. Dye's first inning of work is successful. 6.5 through in Omaha. It's 16-10 for the Indians.
Dear Exit Strategy, let's pick the perfect Toyota for our great escape. Try the sporty Camry, the elegant Venza, the adventurous RAV4, the spacious Highlander, or the dynamic CHR. No matter which vehicle you choose, there's an exit from the ordinary to match. See you soon, Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer or check out Toyota.com and start planning your getaway today. Toyota, let's go places.
Own a home? Here's a tip. Don't dump your garbage in the street. Neighbors get fussy about that sort of thing. Instead, count on Ray's Trash to haul it away. Ray's can supply 96-gallon waste and recycling bins that'll make you the envy of the cul-de-sac. And when you need a roll-off container for that big job, guess who's going to be there for you? That's right, Ray's. Your filth needs a place of its own. Ray's Trash will move it there. You know where to go.
Ray'sTrash.com.
Ray's Trash.
Life gets a little bit easier when you don't have to worry about your health care. Choose Anthem for Medicaid to help guide you and your family to great doctors and great care. We offer low or no-cost health plans, one that's just right for you. It's an easy choice. Anthem has you covered. Visit anthem.com/inmedicaid to learn more about Hoosier HealthWise, Healthy Indiana Plan, and Hoosier Care Connect.
Back to your Indianapolis Indians on Fox Sports 1260, Indy's sports station.
Bottom of the 7th in Omaha, Storm Chasers trying to come from behind. They trailed 8-0 at one point, then cut it to 8-7. The Indians have since continued to succeed offensively, and they are up 16-10. New pitcher, right-hander, 3rd pitcher of the afternoon for the Indians. Yerry De Los Santos, who has pitched in just 1 game, gave up 1 hit, and now he'll try to navigate his way through the 7th. He'll face 6, 7, and 8, Melendez, Blanco, and Mejia in the Omaha half of the 7th. Melendez 2 for 2, a couple of runs scored, a home run, and a walk. And the right-hander will get set to go to work. Beto started, went the first 4 and 2/3, and then Eckelmann was able to retire the side in order. He went an inning and a third in total. And now the 3rd pitcher of the afternoon for the Indians.
Giants beat the Rockies 6-2. What a year for the Giants. Who expected anything out of them?
Totally unexpected, yeah. Dodgers we expected.
Yes.
But not Giants. Left-handed hitter, right-handed pitcher, Melendez the catcher, and he takes the first pitch high and wide for ball one.
Giants 102-54, beat the Rockies 6-2. Let's see about the Dodgers.
Did they play at all in the last week, head-to-head?
I'm not sure. The Dodgers ahead of the D-backs 3-0.
Ball one pitch is on the corner, a fastball, 1-1.
In the eighth, so if the Dodgers win that game, they will remain 2 behind the Giants with 6 to go.
It's a tough hurdle.
They're going for their 100th win today.
Ball one, strike one. There's a pitch that swung on and lifted into the air, deep left center field. Center fielder drifting over toward left and right in front of the track. Oliva makes the play, 1 out, and Blanco will be the hitter. So the last 5 Storm Chasers have gone down. Witt flew out to left to end the 5th, and then Eckelmann struck out the side in the 6th, and now Melendez, facing De Los Santos here in the 7th, flies to center. It brings Blanco to the plate, 1 for 3 with a pair of runs scored and an RBI.
I'll tell you an American League team who's done better than most people thought. That's the Mariners. Seattle's 85-70, 15 above.
What's their status for postseason? Ball one outside.
Well, coming into play today, they were 3 behind the Yankees and the Red Sox and a game behind the Blue Jays. They're on the outside looking in, and they'd have to win all their games and get help, really.
Pitch is swung on. Ball one the count. Second pitch lifted into the air. Center field, this time drifting to his left, is Oliva, and he makes the catch right in front of the track. The first 2 men have gone down. Melendez flies to left center field and Blanco to right center field. Mejia will hit. 2 for 3, 2 runs scored, a double. He's the number 8 man in their order.
Seattle ahead of the Angels 5-1 in the bottom of the 8th.
Which teams have been the biggest disappointments? I don't think they were regarded as a championship contender, but the Twins. Yes, that's where I was going with the Twins. They have been bottom feeders the entire season. Pitch in for called strike one.
I think the Mets might be up there.
No.
But more so the Twins than anybody else.
1 strike pitch lifted up into the air. Left side, shallow left, out the third baseman. In the left fielder, the third baseman drifting back out into the outfield grass, and Castro makes the play. An uneventful 7th inning. And we go to the 8th. Through 7, it's 16-10 Indianapolis on the Indianapolis Indians Radio Network.
The right care, the right support, the right time. When your kids need highly skilled primary care, Riley Children's Health is right here for you. With morning, daytime, and evening appointments, and Saturday appointments too. Virtual visits and 24/7 online scheduling. Riley gives you more options for care from Indiana's top doctors for kids. Where, when, and how you need it. Call 1-888-IU-HEALTH or visit rileychildrens.org/more options.
At LASIK Plus, we literally have thousands of 5-star reviews. Our patients love the service LASIK Plus provides and the outcomes. So we decided to check in on some of our reviewers. Hi, are you Sarah_34?
Yeah.
I'm from LASIK Plus, and we just wanted to thank you for giving LASIK Plus a 5-star review.
Oh, they were great. I got a customized treatment plan, and they just made it all so easy. My neighbor was right. LASIK Plus is the best.
Oh, so your neighbor was a patient too?
Yeah, Frank.
Frank Doggy Dog 778?
Maybe.
He's our next stop.
Right now at LASIK Plus, you can get $1,000 off our Wavelight laser if you're treated in September. That's $500 off per eye. Visit mylasicoffer.com. LASIK Plus, the patient's choice for LASIK. Must mention this promotion and be treated in September of 2021 to qualify. $1,000 off for both eyes on standard Wavelight price. $500 off for one eye. Cannot be combined with any other offers. See details at mylasicoffer.com.
Back to the Indianapolis Indians on Fox Sports 1260, Indy Sports Station.
Top of the 8th, high-scoring game in Omaha. The Indians lead the Storm Chasers 16-10. I'm Mark Boyle. Let's go back to the longtime iconic voice of the Indians, Howard Eckelmann.
Thank you so much, Mark, and I hope that the day comes, because you deserve it, to be inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame and get the Kurt Gowdy Award.
That is the highest honor one can receive in our world.
Yep. Joe Tate got it a few years ago.
Rightfully so. Al McCoy has won it. guys that I have known and worked with over the years, not directly with, but my peers with other franchises.
Well, you deserve it. You've been there more than 30 years doing a terrific job.
Well, thanks.
Christian Bethencourt leads off and takes low outside from Dahe. Ball one ball, no strikes.
I find it sort of ironic, not that he didn't do basketball, he did, but Kurt Gowdy is more known for baseball.
Yeah, and football. Now, I remember him doing basketball. I'll tell you one, there's a swing and a fly ball hit out to left center and deep. That ball's way back, and that ball has cleared the wall for a home run for Christian Bethencourt.
Boy, he scorched that one.
Well, Mark was in here calling it in the 6th and 7th. We went very quickly, and Bethencourt leads off the 8th with a home run.
Well, that gives him 5 RBI in this game, and that matches a season high for the Indians this year.
And that makes it the Indians 17, Omaha 10.
The 17 runs we discussed earlier. The previous high for the Indians this year had been 13.
I never really thought about the most runs combined, something I never thought of in Indians games, but boy, this is really something. There's a strike for Mr. Dida Madris, who has a sac fly.
Now we're back to a football score.
Yes, on a football Sunday.
Kurt Gowdy did a lot of NCAA games.
Yes, and here's a swing and a little looper into center field. That'll fall for a base hit. The first year I followed the NBA, and I loved the NBA as a kid, the first year I followed, I was 6, 1958-59. Kurt Gowdy announced the game of the week on NBC. Every Sunday there was a game. That was my introduction to the NBA. And that was Elgin Baylor's rookie year. The Lakers were still in Minneapolis. And it seemed as if they had the Lakers often, and they'd give the star of the game a wristwatch. And Elgin Baylor collected a lot of wristwatches that season. Here's Jared Oliver. And there's a swing and a bouncing ball hit slowly to short. The throw from Witt Jr. to second one on to first. In time, they turn the double play. 6-4-3, Witt, Cancel, and Prado. And there are 2 away. Big bounding ball to the shortstop.
I'm guessing based on what you've said and what I've read that we would expect to see Witt Jr. in the big leagues next year?
I think so. Even though he's very young, he's really dominated. Here's Hunter Owen, who is doubled and homered, and he takes a strike. The following year, I think Kurt Gowdy did the games again on NBC. I know they were on 59-60, but then the NBA was on shaky ground, didn't have a national TV contract for several years.
I remember.
There's a swing and a miss.
I remember when I was a kid and first started following the NBA, the games were done by Chris Schenkel and Jack Twyman.
January of 1965, the NBA got a national TV contract with ABC, and those were the announcers. Bob Cousy was aboard, too. I'll never forget one moment. Schenkel announced the games for a number of years. Here's a swing and a ground ball to short, gloved by Witt Jr. On to Prado, side retired. At the end of 7 1/2 innings, it is now the Indianapolis Indians 17, Omaha 10.
Why is Elements Financial like a bank, only better? One reason is we are here for you both near and far. We're proud to be respected locally and accessed globally. You are likely to see us at your own workplace. Elements is based in Indiana, yet accessible from anywhere. And overall, we're helping you to be smarter with your money in any situation. Visit us at elements.org to learn more reasons we are like a bank, only better. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Nothing brings a construction project to a halt quicker than losing half your crew under a heap of shingles. So say hooray for Ray's Trash. Ray's could deliver 10, 15, 20, 30, and 40-yard roll-off containers to your job site. It'll be tempting to fill them with water and go for a swim. But instead, load them up with construction waste and your discarded hopes and dreams. When they're full, Ray's will haul them away. Got a big pile? Get yourself to raystrash.com.
Ray'sTrash.com.
Ray's Trash.
Hey, Indians fans. Looking for more home run savings on Moore selection? Head over to Andy Moore Nissan in Avon. Shop hundreds of your favorite new Nissans, including our Major League lineup of commercial vehicles and Rocky Ridge trucks. Our all-star financing team will help you get approved and on the road in no time. And when you need to service your vehicle, check out our state-of-the-art Premier Express Service Center. Get your Grand Slam deal today at Andy Moore Nissan in Avon, where more means more. Online at AndyMooreAvonNissan.com.
We're starting to connect, man.
Connection is made.
WNDE Indianapolis. The Indianapolis Indians are always right here on Fox Sports 1260, Indy Sports Station.
Blake Wyman in to pitch for the Indians, and he's been outstanding of late. And what he did was he stopped throwing his two-seam fastball, going strictly with a four-seamer, pitching with conviction, and he's been terrific lately. Gabriel Cancel will lead off against him. So anyway, Mark, the NBA gets the contract with ABC in January 1965, and then in the 71-72 season, Chris Schenkel still announcing the games. And the NBA celebrates its 25th anniversary. 25th anniversary season. They had a very big weekend. And Chris Schenkel is interviewing the commissioner, Walter Kennedy. And Chris says, Walter, thank you very much at the end of the interview. And Walter Kennedy said, Chris, thank you so much for all you've done for the NBA for the past 2 days. I just laugh when I think of it. You know what he meant was the weekend they had, but Chris had been announcing the games for 7 years.
I get it.
And here's Gabriel Cancel.
It wasn't that long ago.
And the pitch to him is a swing and a high fly ball hit out to right center field and deep. That ball's way back, and that ball is off the wall for extra bases. Oliver files it back in, and it's a double for Cancel.
Actually, it was that long ago. I just tend to lose track of time. But it was in the 80s that the finals were on tape delay. For
around 1980, Magic Johnson's rookie year, right?
There was 80. So that's I say not that long ago. That's over 40 years. It's a long time. Boy, I thought that ball was out of the park at first.
So did I, but it caromed off the wall. The fans were running for it in the lawn. Lucius Fox, the batter, he has a 2-run single and an RBI double. And a breaking ball is in for a strike. But the NBA has been on national TV ever since that deal in January 65. But there was a 3-4 year period there where they weren't on national TV. And I grew up a big Knick fan, and the games weren't even on radio every year back then.
Well, that's hard to believe.
Yeah, there's a swing and a miss. The games were not on. Les Kiter announced the games, the Knick games in 1958-59 and 59-60. They were not on the air in 60-61 or 61-62. Then they went to WCBS. Marty Glickman, who was a great basketball announcer in addition to being a great football announcer, he called them in 1962-63. Lucius Fox stands in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wyman stretches and delivers. In the dirt and inside, a ball.
Well, we are just closing in on the 3-hour mark. So let's say this game goes for another 45 minutes maybe.
Then I would hope it'd be a little quicker than that. Well, but you could be right.
Well, the recent innings have gone a little quicker. What I'm getting at, though, is this. We were talking earlier about this bus trip back from Omaha.
Fastball down the middle. And he got him looking, strike 3. 1 away.
So you finish the game. You do your clubhouse stuff. You pack up. You shower. You're talking somewhere 4:30 or 5 in the morning, right?
It's 10 hours, and they have to stop, I'm sure, at least once, probably once. And I've made a lot of those bus trips, but not this year, obviously. Bobby Witt Jr., the batter, let's see. They won't get out by 9 o'clock. That's later than 5 in the morning. You're talking about 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
They may have to deal with rush hour traffic. The pitch is low ball 1.
The year I did the Pioneer League, that was 2005, and the Pioneer League is geographically all over the place. It's like the closest road trip was 4 hours. And Billings was the team I was with. They were in the eastern side of the league.
And there's a pitch over the inside corner at the knees, strike 1, 1-1.
And so we only had to do this once because Provo and Ogden were in the western side. and we went down there. It seemed like 4 days, but I think it was about 12 hours, I think. And luckily, the last game of that sequence was a day game, so we got back to Billings at a reasonable hour.
And there's a swing and a bouncing ball to third. Fair ball. Glove by Castro. Throw to first. He got him. Here's a throw to third. That is not in time. So there are 2 away, with Cancel taking an unnecessary risk. His team down by 7 runs and 2 outs. But he did get over to third, 2 down, and now Nick Prado, who is homered and singled in 4 at-bats. Boy, that's some bus travel there.
Yeah, that was a travel-intensive league. It's a beautiful part of the country, though, so there's that. Doesn't make the time on the bus any shorter. And I always got a kick out of it because I had been in the NBA by then for almost 20 years.
And it's fouled back by Prado, strike 1.
And in the NBA, if there's a problem with space on the bus, then the non-players doubled up and the players got 2 seats. And in rookie ball, myself, the manager, the pitching coach, and the hitting coach got 2 seats, and the players all doubled up.
That's different.
Yeah.
Good point. Good story. The left-hander sets. And the pitch is a swing and a miss. Whenever I might be in a single seat in the bus, and I'll often double up with a broadcast partner, but when I was in a single seat, or maybe somebody else was in a single seat, a non-player, you'd hear the calls from the back of the bus. Double up now.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
Now, they have sleeper buses these days. Fastball is high, so it's much different.
Yeah, we didn't have that.
We've had them, let's see, about 10 years now, maybe a little longer. I would rather take the sleeper bus, come home on this kind of trip, than get up at 4 in the morning and have to take 2 planes to get home.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And a fastball is a swing and a foul back. 1-2. And, of course, you're fortunate now in the NBA to have charter flights.
And it makes so much difference. Not only is it more comfortable, but beyond that, there's a big difference, like you just said. We'll play a game, and then we'll be home at 2 or 3 in the morning. Way different than getting up at the crack of dawn and traveling.
Yes.
Way different.
And a breaking ball outside, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe when you first started broadcasting the Pacers in 1988-89, there were not charter flights.
Correct. Well, there were. Detroit had their own plane. Everybody else flew
You guys
commercial.
did,
No,
right.
we did not. Everybody else flew commercial. And then it became copycat. The Pistons were winning championships, and so, well, that's an advantage they have. Maybe the rest of us should do it. And we first started traveling charter only on back-to-backs like to Chicago or Detroit. The rest of the time we still flew commercial when we first started chartering. And I remember when we first started going, we chartered with this operation called Brit Airways, and when we got on the plane, it was a prop plane. There were propellers.
Oh, wow.
And the flight attendants made sure we were distributed equally on either side.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, you're young and stupid. You don't think anything of it. Today I would take a second look at that.
And here's a swing and a miss, and he struck him out to retire the side. So a leadoff double, but they don't score. And at the end of 8, the Indians 17, Omaha 10.
Dear road rivals, let's talk about extra. Toyota offers tons of extra with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan good for 2 years or 25,000 miles. No-cost oil changes, no-cost tire rotations, no-cost fluid level adjustments, and more. That's a whole lot of extra at no cost from Toyota. Ford, Honda, and Nissan all charge extra for maintenance, and that's the kind of extra nobody needs. Try harder. Toyota.
Based on manufacturer's data as of 3/17/2021, covers normal factory scheduled service for 2 years or 25,000 miles, whichever occurs first. See participating dealer for coverage details.
It's time to conserve our water. Time to get in the game. Turn off the faucet while brushing your teeth. Conservation is within our reach. You can install a low-flowing shower head or do full loads of laundry. And that's 1, 2, 3 tips you got from Citizens Energy. For more tips, go to citizensenergygroup.com.
Ready?
Just because you've raised a no-fear athlete doesn't mean you don't shudder with every hit. At Franciscan, our team is dedicated to being Central Indiana's sports injury champs, specializing in treatment, rehab, and the most comprehensive concussion management available. We're here to help them feel strong enough to hit the field again, and you feel better about letting them. Franciscan Health Sports Medicine. Inspiring health.
Now back to your Indianapolis Indians on Fox Sports 1260, Indy Sports Station.
Okay, we go to the ninth inning. Tyler Zuber comes on to pitch for Omaha. He is their seventh pitcher of the game.
Pitched against the Indians earlier in the week and struck out the side coming in out of the bullpen. Well, if we assume this is the last pitcher, then they'll finish with 7 pitchers. Must be a season. You haven't faced any more than 7 in a game, have
I
you?
don't think so. You have a lot of games, though, bullpen days where you come close to that.
Yeah.
I don't think more than 7. He's a right-hander.
Let me ask you this. I heard somebody suggest this, an effort to speed up the game because you wouldn't use as many pitchers. The idea was, and it would never come to a serious discussion. I found it intriguing, though. The concept, and I forgot who said it. It was during a broadcast I was listening to from one of the big league teams. You can activate 5 pitchers for every game, and that's it. So you choose which 5 you want. It would be the starter and 4 guys in the bullpen, and then you'd have to manage your pitching accordingly. You could only use 5 guys.
What if you played 13 or 14 innings?
Well, it's not foolproof, and I don't think it would ever even come to a conversation. It was just a unique perspective.
The pitch is in there for a strike to Kanan Smith and Jigba, who is walked twice, grounded out, and struck out from Zuber. We're talking about the bad boys, the Detroit Pistons, the pitch high and away. They won those back-to-back championships your first 2 years in the NBA.
They did. They beat the Lakers and the Blazers.
The right-hander sets. And a breaking ball bounce foul. And I was at a Knick Piston game in Madison Square Garden in 1994. It was November 94, and the Pistons were not the same team anymore. They still had some of the same players, but they weren't great. Anyhow, the Knicks had a deal where if they held the opposition under 90 points, everybody would get free pizza at Madison Square Garden.
Which, by the way, was not all that unusual in those days. The game was different, the scoring was lower, and they had a good defensive. They had a good team, period. But defensively, they were very good.
Right. Here's a swing and a miss. He struck him out, one away. Indians leading 17-10 in the top of the ninth. Tucupita Marcano, the batter, 1 for 4. Anyhow, with about a minute to go, Detroit's only got 85 points. And everybody in Madison Square Garden is yelling, Pete-sir. And, not pizza, Pete-sir, with the New York accent. Pizza, and they're yelling it. The pitch is low and inside a ball. The Pistons get a bucket. Then there's about 10 seconds left. They get the ball back. And Bill Laimbeer throws up a 3 at the buzzer and makes it for the 90 points, denying the fans the pizza. Laimbeer walked off like he'd won the championship. His arms are up in the air, raised, pumping his fist and everything. He took a lot of pride in being a villain. So Marcano takes a strike.
When he was playing, the salaries were much lower.
Zuber. And that pitch is over the outside corner, belt high, strike 2.
And his dad was a very successful businessman, I think in California.
Yeah, he wasn't even a great college player.
But the joke at the time in the NBA was Bill Laimbeer's the only guy in the league whose dad's making more money than he is.
That's funny. And there's a swing and a fly ball hit out to left field and deep, but playable. And Blanco has it, and they're at 2 away.
Another way the game has changed. And it's late 80s dollars versus early 20s dollars, so you have to take that into account. But when I first came into the NBA, the salary cap for teams was less than the average player's salary now.
Wow, isn't that something?
Yeah.
What's the minimum salary now in the NBA?
You know what? I don't even know. I think if you're an undrafted rookie, it's You know what? I don't even want to guess because I'm not
In
certain.
baseball, it's over Major League Baseball over 500,000.
I think it's either high six figures or low seven figures.
Okay. O'Neill Cruz, the batter, 2 outs, bases empty.
You know what, though, Howard? In today's world, we don't have to speculate.
And the pitch is a little bit high for a ball.
I'll just go to our old friend, the Internet.
It's becoming old now, yeah.
Yes, it's been around for a long time. The average salary for players with no experience, in other words, a rookie,
and the pitch outside
is $925,258. Wow.
That's something.
And then as you get more experience, the minimum salary is increased. For example, a player of 3 years' experience can be paid no less than $1.7 million.
I see. Fastball, very close, a little bit outside. 3-0. Indians leading 17-10. Mark Boyle, legendary voice of the Indiana Pacers, our guest. And we thank you for working with us today, Mark, and a couple of other times you did this season as well. And there's a strike at the knees.
Well, I always appreciate the invitation. We've had a chance to do this on occasion throughout the years.
Yep. The count is 3-1.
It's always a good time.
Zuber stretches. Tyler Zuber. And he delivers. Swung on, hit in the air, foul, left side out of play. Full count.
As you point out, this is, I think, my third game with you this season, so I'm not used to sitting in an empty ballpark with nothing happening on the diamond and still calling the game remotely. It's sort of surreal.
And when you call the Pacers games remotely, where are you located?
We have a studio down on the a court level where we call the TVs in a studio next to us, and we're in our own studio. And we call the home games from our normal location.
3-2 is high, ball 4, as do we. So a 2-out walk, and Michael Chavis, the batter, he's hit a 2-run homer today, as has Christian Bethancourt, 2-run homer for him. Home run for Hunter Owen, and a home run for Bethancourt again in the 8th inning. He's hit 2 of them.
Cruz has now reached base 5 times.
Yep. A homer, 3 walks, and a single. And a breaking ball is a check swing foul to the right of the plate. Strike 1 on Chavis, who's also walked and hit with a pitch ball. We're in the top of the 9th. 2 men are out. The Indians are ahead 17-10. It's about the same number of points the Colts scored today.
What was the score of that?
I forget. I looked at it. I know they lost. I watched the first quarter, listened to the second quarter. And a fastball is a strike over the outside corner.
The minimum MLB salary, just like you said, $570.5 thousand, so $570,500.
Tyler Zuber delivers. And a breaking ball hit high in the air to center field and deep, but it's playable. Back there is Fox to make the catch and retire the side. At the end of 8.5, Indians 17, Omaha 10.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Indiana. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Failed sump pump? Flooded basement? Water damage happens fast this time of year. For 39 years, Hayes & Sons has been restoring water damage in Indiana homes and businesses. They'll help you navigate your insurance claim and get your life back on track. So when a water disaster strikes, tell your insurance agent you want Hayes & Sons for your restoration work. For more information, please visit HayesandSons.com.
And the filet mignon, medium rare.
A steak is like a burger, only better.
These seats are amazing. Can you believe we're this close?
The front row is like the nosebleeds, only better. And Elements Financial? It's like a bank, only better. Yes, Elements offers higher deposit rates, lower loan rates, and fewer fees to help you succeed financially. Visit elements.org to learn more. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Back to the Indianapolis Indians on Fox Sports 1260, Indy Sports Station.
And we go to the bottom half of the ninth inning. Blake Wyman, who pitched the scoreless eighth, is out there in the ninth as well. And Emmanuel Rivera will lead off. He is 0 for 4. Travis Jones on deck to pinch hit for Ryan McBroom. Travis Jones, looking at him, 25 years old. We haven't seen much of him. Anyway, here is Emmanuel Rivera. Blake Wyman off the stretch, and a fastball swing and a miss, strike one, 0-1.
So let's see. The teams through the first 5 innings combined for 26 runs, and then just one since.
Yeah, last 3.5 innings have moved quickly. Wyman delivers low with a fastball, ball one. Official scorer's call as to who would be the winning pitcher because the starter didn't go 5 and the Indians took the lead in the first 5 innings. And this one in the dirt. He should give it to the relief pitcher he feels was the most effective.
Well, as we discussed off air, if Wyman gets through this inning without incident, that would be him, I would think.
Definitely, because he will have gone 2 now. De Los Santos pitched a perfect inning, although Eckelmann, who preceded him, struggled. He gave up a couple of runs. Here's a fly ball foul right side out of play. It should not be Eckelmann, but don't be surprised if they give it to him. Just the way things go sometimes.
Total discretion.
Rivera 0 for 4.
Being the official scorer, though, is a fairly thankless job.
It's challenging, yep.
You're always going to annoy somebody.
That's definitely true. Definitely true. And a breaking ball, swing and a miss, he struck him out one away. But you should know the rules well,
yes,
number one.
Yes, no question.
And, for instance, you should also know that it says in the rules, whether you're making up your mind to make it a hit or an error, when in doubt, give the batter the benefit of the doubt and make it a base hit. So here's Travis Jones pinch hitting.
Well, by definition, then, if it takes you any time at all, then it should always be a hit.
That's right.
Because that means there's some doubt. Otherwise, you would call it instantly.
That's it. And it also, the big term is ordinary effort in terms of a hit or an error, too. Fielding a ball with ordinary effort. Breaking ball inside, ball one to Jones.
Well, think of it this way. In any thing like that, there are 3 people involved, the pitcher, the hitter, and the fielder. If you call it a hit, then you made 2 of them happy. Right? The hitter's happy and the fielder's happy. The pitcher's not happy.
Right. But one thing we've seen over the years, not as much now, is hometown scoring, and you don't like that. Breaking ball inside a ball. Gee, I'll never forget a game in 1981. Charlie Lebrandt's pitching for Indianapolis. The bases are loaded, 2 outs. There's a ball hit to the second baseman's right. Gene Moniz does not make the play. The official scorer felt it required a bit more than ordinary effort, and he ruled it a base hit. Pitches low inside a ball. So guess what the next batter does? Grand slam, and Charlie Lebrandt is hit with 5 earned runs.
Instead of
and
none.
He just walked around whenever I saw him the next 2 weeks. Whatever happened to ordinary effort? That's all he would say to me. Like I was the scorer or something.
Did he think you were?
No, he knew I wasn't. This pitch is low, but I'm the closest to the scorer, being in the broadcast booth. There's a guy, by the way, who resurrected his career with the Kansas City Royals and had a lot of success.
Still remember that home run he gave up in the World Series to Kirby Puckett?
Yep. And this pitch is low. He didn't fare well in the World Series. That's ball 4 and a walk to Jones. I haven't seen him in forever, But I guess if I did see him, when I would say goodbye to him, I don't think it'd be a good idea to say, we'll see you tomorrow night.
Probably not.
Which is what Jack Buck said after Kirby Puckett hit the home run to win Game 6 of the 1991 World Series. Here's M.J. Melendez. And he also had some issues in the 85 World Series pitching for Kansas City. But he had a good career.
Yes, very good. Long career.
Melendez, the batter, 1 for 3, a home run. And he takes it low. And I remember he was pitching for the Indianapolis Indians. He originally came up with the Reds, so he pitched for the Indians in 78, 79, 81. Pitching for the Indians in 83 and not doing that well, going up and back, big leagues, AAA. And a breaking ball outside, and he was traded in a 1-for-1 deal to Kansas City for Bob Tufts, who was a relief pitcher who the year before had pitched very well in Omaha, but was not doing well in 1983. And a fastball is in, strike called. So anyway, Roy Hartsfield says to me, he was the Indians manager, I made a mistake. Right after the trade was made, Lee ran for Tufts. I said, well, what did you do? What didn't you do? Wyman's pitch, breaking ball hit high in the air to deep right field. That ball is way back, and it clears the wall. It's a 2-run home run for Melendez. A walk and a home run. It's now the Indians 17 and Omaha 12 with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. And Melendez, with his 13th home run of the year in AAA Omaha, Mark, he also hit 28 in AA Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah, that
41 homers this year.
That is impressive.
So I said to Roy Hartsfield, what happened? What was the mistake? He said, I forgot to write on the report that Bob Tufts was not pitching well this year. And the trade was made. Tufts retired at the end of the season, and Lee Brandt went on and pitched in the big leagues for more than 10 years.
Well, they must have known that without him saying
so. It was a different era back then. They weren't, he wasn't throwing the ball well, and they could have looked at a stat sheet, true, but Lee Brandt was going nowhere, they felt. Tufts was not really going anywhere Kansas City felt, so the trade was made. They didn't scrutinize as closely as they do now. Tyrone Blanco, the batter, 1 for 4, an RBI single.
So assume here that the left-hander gets the last 2 guys. You're now giving the win to De Los Santos?
That's right. This pitch is inside. Can't give it to Wyman.
No, I agree with that.
I'd give it to De Los Santos. He was the only relief pitcher of the 3 who was effective. But again, the scorers don't always know the rules there. And there's a swing and a miss, and they immediately give it to the guy who came in after the starter sometime. I've seen that happen.
Well, this seems like a no-brainer, though, doesn't it?
Yes, I agree with you. Let's hope they do it that way. Wyman sets and delivers in the dirt for a ball. The Indians are ahead 17-12.
Still a football score.
Yep. Adam Vinatieri and his 4 field goals.
Or 2 touchdowns, and he missed both extra points. Probably not, though.
No. Till the last year. This pitch is inside his last year. That could have happened, but he was great. What a story he was. Nobody wanted him out of South Dakota State. He goes overseas to play in Europe and becomes the greatest field goal kicker of all time. Wyman delivers, swinging a pop foul straight back, out of play.
Stayed around maybe a year too long.
Yeah, I think so. That's true.
I think I've told you this story before. When I was working in Minneapolis, Steve Carlton was acquired by the Twins.
Oh, he was at the end by that time, right?
I think it might have been the very end. But he was no longer effective.
And he was hanging around. A breaking ball inside, and he walked him. Wyman's issued 2 walks here in the inning with a big lead. And the batter is Eric Mejia, who has an RBI double and a single.
And I know you'll remember this, but maybe some fans don't. He went for several years without speaking to the media.
Right. Oh, yeah, long time.
So we were out at the batting cage one day at the old Metrodome, and the PR guy, Tom Mee, who has since passed, said, hey, Steve Carlton has decided to talk. He's going to hold a media gathering.
Mejia swings a ground ball to short. Cruz has got it. He'll go to first. On to 0-2 away.
And there was a guy. He still works in the media. His name is Patrick Royce. He covered the Twins for a number of years now. He's a columnist for the Minneapolis paper, and I'll never forget this. So we're sitting around the cage. Tom says, Steve Carlton will speak now if anyone wants to talk to him. And Patrick Royce said, why is it that some guys figure out how to say hello when it's time to say goodbye?
That's a great line. Gabriel Cancel, the batter. And you know what happened? We lost the feed. The final out was made, and they cut away. I'm going to try to get this final out if I can.
No idea what happened. See, and I'm telling you, this is hard work for you. I admire you.
This has not happened before, but they didn't show the final out, and the game is over. The Indians win the game 17-12. But in any event, well, let's just go with the wrap there. The final score, the Indianapolis Indians 17, the Omaha Storm Chasers 12.
You've been listening to